What's up, everybody? What's going on? Peace, power, and unity to the E Nation in the building, representing hard. Shout out to First Lady Neek, Queen of the E Nation, and also Queen Duchess Belle Mort, also Queen of the E Nation. Shout out to Kylie Jane, Hoorah, Ray Regime in the building. Shout out to my brother Hassan Burton, Royal Knight of the E Nation. What up, OG? Peace, power, and unity to you. I hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday afternoon. I still have some downtime, so I decided to make good use of it in podcast because you guys know that I'm on the road, so I have to get in where I fit in. Before we get into the absence of Black male leadership and the psychological destruction of young Black males, I'm going to play a clip. I don't want to play the video, but I want you to listen to the audio. and then when it was done, then I'll get everything started. But I thought this was very fitting for this show. It's tragic, and it goes to what I'm about to talk about our young black males in the state of black leadership, male black leadership, and domestic violence against our women and children. So without further ado, let me play the clip, sit back, listen, and I'll be back after the clip's over. Bear with me on the commercials because I can only play it every so often. There'll be a commercial in there. I'll get the commercial out and I'll continue the podcast. All right, here we go.
Keisha Valentine is a hardworking single mom with two bright teenage kids, 19-year-old Devonay and 15-year-old Earl III.
They were the best of friends. They really were.
The family goes through some tough times when Keisha's marriage breaks up. She left her husband and home in Richmond, Virginia, and moved to Norlina, North Carolina, closer to her family.
He would cheat. I wouldn't say dating, and I knew about it. He was out there having other relationships. He was a cheater.
But things are improving.
I was finally starting to live. I had a new job. I was working, taking care of those children.
Devonay is away from home for the first time, a college freshman. And that leaves Earl, the young man of the house, alone with his mom.
He loves his mother, and everyone knows that Earl would do anything for me.
But it's not easy for Earl to watch his older sister and best friend leave home. He even made a special video for the occasion.
Hopefully you keep this in the memory. When you go to college, you might go watch this. You'll remember about your brother when you go to college.
He made a video for you? He wouldn't even come to my graduation. That's how sad he was on you.
On the night before her life changes forever, Keisha makes sure her son is home safe and locks up the house before bedtime. Then she sets her own homemade alarm in case anyone should try to break into the house.
I set it up so that I would know if anything would have come through, this would fall first, and you would hear that big thud. So I would hear all of that shit when it comes through this door.
No one has ever made an attempt to force the door, but for the first time ever in the small, dark hours of the morning, Keisha hears the sound of that board crashing to the floor. Loud and clear.
I was in there sleeping in my room, and I just heard like a bang type noise, like something crashed over. I just sat up in the bed, like, did I really just hear that? And I actually went out of my room, looked, couldn't see anything, it was pitch black.
Long past midnight, Keisha Valentine and her 15-year-old son Earl are asleep in their bedrooms, and the house is locked up tight and quiet when a crashing sound jolts her awake and out of bed.
It sounded like the door caved in, but I was not quite 100% sure, and that's when I started my walk up that hallway to see what happened.
She can barely see in the dark, then the flash of a gunshot.
The gun went off in my chest, like a boom.
Keisha turns and stumbles, scrambling back into her bedroom for shelter as the gunman chases her, still firing.
You don't even know how many times you're shot at that point. I felt weak. My body was getting weak, and so I'm grabbing on to the side of my door, and I make it in there, push that door behind me. My legs give out a straight dead on the floor. And that's it. I'm up down on this floor.
And that's when the madman turns on Earl, who jumped out of bed to save his mom, and runs straight into flying bullets.
I don't know if when he heard me running and heard the gun going off.
Keisha struggles to remain conscious. The shooter seems to have left the house. But for as long as she lives, she will never forget the words she hears next. It's Earl. He's hurt too. He's on his cell phone calling for help.
And 911 call. That's all I heard of him.
The police station is only minutes away. Officer Anton Edwards gets the call and races to the scene. And this veteran cop is stunned at the carnage he finds inside the house.
The door was open, and I walked up, and I said, "Is everything okay?" And there's a voice inside that says, "Help me, I've been shot."
Did you see Earl III?
Yes, I did.
And was he conscious or breathing?
He was not very alert. I asked him what happened. He told me he'd been shot.
It's so bad, Police Chief Taylor Bartholomew is also called in for this one.
Describe to me the crime scene inside the house.
Multiple gunshot holes in the walls and the floor. There was a lot of blood, and I was amazed that Keisha survived. Honestly, if you saw the crime scene and how bad it was.
Both Keisha and Earl are rushed to a nearby hospital. Both are in critical condition.
What was getting you through those moments?
I was worrying about Earl the whole time. I kept asking, where's Earl? Where's Earl? They tell me my son's ordered, I guess, another ambulance or something.
Keisha drifts in and out of consciousness in the ICU. But when she can speak, she only wants to know one thing.
I would kept trying to say Earl. They say you can't talk right now. And every time I would get ready to say something, it's like as if they push medicine in me, and I fall right back to sleep. Every time I try to talk, they tell me no, I'll make it the first 24 hours.
Cops are desperate to find out who would unleash this vicious attack on a defenseless mother and her young son. But it isn't long before they get a confession in the most shocking way imaginable. And it's no random stranger. He's Earl Valentine Sr., Keisha's ex-husband and the father of Earl III. Immediately after the shooting, he's letting the world know on Facebook Live that he's the man who did it.
I just killed my wife. She lied on me, had warrants taken out on me. She drugged me all the way down to nothing.
According to Keisha, he's made several threats before, but this is the first time he's dared to follow through.
Earl got out of control over money and made a whole lot of threats on wanting to kill me. He would say such things, but the mannerism on how he would say them was in such a way as being sarcastic, not in a serious, oh, I'm going to come kill you like you hear on television.
I loved my wife, but she deserved what she had coming. I've been very sick for months, and this is something that I could not help.
Did he have a past criminal history?
He had a criminal history within our marriage, yes.
What was he arrested for?
Drug charges. When he did not have it, you saw an animal like a wolf just coming at personality.
And Keisha's daughter, Debonair, recalls one horrifying moment years before when her father actually pulled a gun on her.
So your father put a gun to your head and wanted money from you.
Yeah.
And you had an order of protection in place against your own father. Because he was that dangerous of a man.
Yeah, he was.
And now Chief Bartholomew manages to get on the phone with Earl as he's on the run. It's a blood-chilling response.
What was his state of mind during those conversations?
He was concerned about whether or not he had actually killed Keisha Valentine. He wanted to know, was she dead? I relayed to him the harm that he had caused to his son, and I could tell at that point he was kind of in shock about that.
The chief quickly realizes this unfolding tragedy is far from over.
At that point, he had indicated to me that he had planned to cause harm to the rest of her family. So, I mean, our concern was making contact with them and making sure they were safe.
So I don't know if I'm gonna make it where I'm going, but if I don't, I wish all of you a good life.
I knew at that moment that it would be one of two ways. He wasn't coming in alive, and my main fear that he would harm another officer.
Even at Debonair's college campus, more than 60 miles away, security is on the lookout.
You thought your father was coming to kill you.
Yeah, like in my school, they had a flyer. They sent it to the whole school, like with his face on it.
Your father's face went out to your entire college.
And then 3 days after this bloody rampage, Earl Valentine is finally cornered by police in a hotel in Columbia, South Carolina.
John, tell us how this all unfolded.
On the run after police say he murdered his 15-year-old son and shot his estranged wife in the chest.
We were able, to get a location on him and to get local, state, federal law enforcement to work to his location, get him surrounded.
Cops fear a ferocious gun battle, but Earl fires only one shot, and it's over.
We were getting ready to enter the building. Like the coward he was, he took his own life instead of facing us.
Back at the hospital, Keisha is still fighting for her life. To the doctor's amazement, she is slowly winning the battle. And she still desperately wants to know only one thing.
I screamed, where is Earl? First thing coming out my mouth.
And then her world comes crashing down around her all over again.
A gentleman in a white coat comes up to me. Keisha Valentine, like, yes. So where is my son? Where is Earl? I hate to inform you that in that shooting you're in, your son passed. And the man walks out of the room.
Her son, Earl Valentine III, is dead at just 15.
It seemed like a dream, to be honest. I still can't believe it to this day. Someone tell me like that.
Gunned down at the hands of his own father. But not before he literally saves his mother's life with his own quick thinking, bleeding to death as he calls for help.
You know how I'm sitting here. You have a lot of faith. And I gotta be strong for him. Because he made the call to get me where I am today.
He's a hero.
He is a hero.
Are you disappointed Earl took his life and is not here to face justice?
Of course I am. I'm angry by it because I wanted to ask him, what made you go off the deep end? How do you feel now that you've killed your son?
And the tragedy is doubled as Keisha takes another listen to the last words of her son's 911 call. In fact, his very last words in this world. Earl III knows who shot him.
You and your mother can die.
Heard from my dad.
What's your name? Hello? Hello?
You believe he saw your husband's face, his own father's face.
I know he saw his father because he wouldn't have known. I know he did.
Today, Divinay still treasures the video her little brother made for her only weeks before he died.
Hopefully you keep this in the memory. When you go to college, right? Go watch this and remember about your brother when you go to college.
He was like, don't forget about him when I go to college.
For Keisha, the healing comes slowly as well. She's still partially paralyzed, wondering if she'll ever walk again.
You still have bullets lodged inside of you.
Yeah, I still have one in my spine.
So you just had a bullet removed just this week.
Yes.
Do doctors say, Keisha, you're going to walk again, or we don't know?
Of course they don't know. They don't believe I'm alive, lady. They can't believe I exist. That's the ultimate goal. I want to walk again. When I'm walking, proves I'm back 100% being Keisha. I want to be like I was.
And the love and the pride she carries for her son Earl will always count more than 5 bullets she took in that hallway.
His spirit is amongst us every day. Every day. And I'm stronger because of it. It keeps me strong, trust me. You ask me every day, how do I do it? I do it because of Earl.
All right, everybody. I'm back. That was the end of the video. I put the link to the video in the chat so you can view it on your own. Wow, where do I start? You know, the sad part about that whole thing is that the only man that was in those women's lives was a 14-year-old boy, a 15-year-old boy that lost his life protecting them. Father was weak, felt sorry for himself, turned himself into a victim, went out like a coward. See, adversity comes for us all every day. And as a man, you fight adversity. You don't allow adversity to scare you into submission, scare you into becoming a victim, allowing you to become weak. You know, Mike Tyson had a statement that he made in a video with cannabis. He said, we're warriors. He said, we go in and we win, or we don't come out at all. See, as a man, you're supposed to have a warrior spirit. And when life deals you a bad hand, you still play it to win, or you don't play at all. Sitting back feeling sorry for yourself because things are happening to you in your life that you don't like. It's a sign of weakness. Terrorizing our women and children is weakness. It's mental weakness. That man was a monster to his own family. And his own son had to face him down. An act of bravery versus a pure act of cowardice. You see, the absence of Black male leadership in our communities, in our Black society, weak Black men who are supposed to be the strength of the society, supposed to be the builders of our society, the authoritators and the protectors of our society. Their weakness is affecting the young Black males. Now, in this case, the father's terrible weakness didn't allow his son to become a coward. And he put his own life before his mother and his sister. That boy is a hero. And the father is a coward and a monster. We got too many cowards and monsters now that are walking around in melanated skin, calling themselves Black men. You hear it all on social media. They've created all of these factions of hatred towards their own people, towards their women and children. See, when the male is weak, his leadership is weak, his guidance is nil, his influence is absent, then it makes the other males weak, the younger males are weak. Then they start suffering, they start degenerating. See, it's a domino effect. See, when there's no father around to exact authority, guide and teach proper behavior, then the boys can, and most times, degenerate into a savage, animal-like, psychotic state of mind. As you've seen in the video just recently of nearly 20 young savages beating a young Black girl. This is going to be the behavior until Black men decide to do something about it. This is not the fault or the responsibility of the Black woman. This is the fault and the responsibility of the Black man alone. You see, your sons, your young men are running around like animals with a wolf-like mentality, terrorizing their own people, their sisters and their mothers, their grandmothers and their aunts. Presenting themselves as sitting ducks, target practice for race devils who wear badges and uniforms. You are allowing your boys to be wiped out by your terrible leadership, your absence of guidance. Your weak mentality, your cowardice. It's affecting the young Black boys in our generation. You see, when you go around here and you terrorize your own women and children, this is the behavior that they learn from you, the so-called leader in the society. When you've taken up arms against your own wife and your child, this is the behavior that they learn from you, the so-called leader. when you are supposed to be the orchestrator of a peaceful environment and a salubrious environment for your women and children to thrive in, instead you have turned cowardly and have lost your mind and taken up arms against them. And this representation of who you are now is seen by many, many, many young Black males. And because they see you doing it, and because they see you speaking it on social media, they see this outpour of hatred against Black women. And they see this behavior of taking up arms against them and brutalizing them in public and allowing them to be brutalized. They now believe that this is normal behavior, so they copy it. And now they have become savage in nature and have no regard for life, have no respect, no direction. And they live a life of no rhyme or reason and have become peripatetic predators. And they prey on their own mothers, sisters, daughters, grandmothers, and aunties. And we sit here as if we are shocked at this behavior of our young youth who mauled a young Black girl like a pack of savage, bloodthirsty wolves. We are in shock at this behavior, but why should we be? When the leaders, the Black males that they are supposed to look to for guidance, are out of their minds and cowardly and have taken up arms against their own women and children, who are also exacting sheer acts of brutish and savage violence against their own women and children. To take up arms against your own women and children and to carry out a savage act of murder or attempted murder is monstrous behavior. And then to somehow blame her for your lack of courage and integrity and honor as a man to face your adversities head on. It's despicable. You are supposed to have the heart of a warrior, not the heart of a coward, not the mind of a monster. Your women and children are supposed to look to you for leadership, protection, knowledge, education, and feel comfortable in your presence and under your leadership. But now they stand in fear. They walk in the opposite direction. They have no trust of you because they don't know if you are man or beast anymore. They no longer feel comfortable around many of us. There used to be a time when you saw children, especially young boys and girls, you smiled and you said, oh, they're just kids having fun. Now you see children, and now many people feel fear from our own children, especially our own young boys, because they have no idea what type of behavior that they are going to display, because the environment is so corrupted and it has no leaders. And the only male representation now in many of these communities are derelict at best, savage at worst. And this is what the young boys have learned and are still learning. Look around social media. You have one faction after another filled with black men who speak anger and hatred against their own people. They speak harm to our women and our children. They make threats that they are willing to make good on against our women and children. And this affects both the young boys and the young girls. The young girls are terrified. The young boys are confused and follow blindly into a waiting peripatetic oblivion. Now they are behaving like bloodthirsty, instinctive, savage animals, rather than walking, talking, breathing, thinking human beings, because of this horrible leadership. Leadership that is failing at every turn. Leadership that is allowing the environment to become more and more corrupted to the point of we may have to burn down the whole environment and start over. A psychological purge starts first before the physical purge seals the deal. We may be headed in that direction. As a matter of fact, we are headed in that direction. You put a divide between you and our women as if there are other women out here that can sustain you. Well, I have news for you. They cannot. Only the black woman can sustain the black man. You get rid of her and you will surely cease to exist over a period of time. There is no other woman that can reproduce you. Apparently you jackals and monsters either don't understand that or don't care about that, or are so mentally ill that it matters not, one way or the other. And that the foam that seeps from your mouth because you have degenerated into an animal, a bloodthirsty animal, tastes sweet to you. This is not a joke. This is not something to sit around and laugh at or poke fun at. This is serious business. We will be our own undoing if this continues. The black woman has gotten to the point now to where she feels she has to protect herself. She has to go in the opposite direction because she can no longer trust the men that come out of her womb, because they are being soiled and tainted and polluted by psychotic black men, weak black men, derelict black men who have created factions of irresponsibility and malcontent towards the mother of all civilization. I hear brothers stand on a corner and preach a spooky word of the hereafter and call our women devils, in league with the devils that tortured our ancestors, even though the black woman has never done that. But somehow they put her on the same level as the devils who have tortured and murdered and maimed our ancestors. This is treachery. This is not knowledge. This isn't conducive to a positive environment in which black people reside in. This is treachery. This is anti-black, anti-black American. This is anti-melanin. To preach that kind of hatred towards your own people and then put our women on the same level as the devil that you so-called preach against. You know, the ones that you keep saying are going to be licking our boots in the afterlife. The one that committed all kinds of unspeakable tragedies against our people. The black woman hasn't done this. What has she done to deserve that kind of company? She's done nothing. The problem is that you've become a very cowardly, spooked little girl of a male. You are frustrated because you will not throw up your hands and fight this white boy. You are afraid of this white boy. You are afraid of this beast. That is the real answer to this issue. You aren't man enough to face another man for the right to dominance. Because you have lost your will to fight and you have lost your courage. You have allowed yourself to become beaten into a psychotic stupor. You now feel to gain some sort of faith and ego by turning around and becoming a monster to your women and children. And you display this proudly on social media as if it's the right thing to do, if it's the natural thing to do. Because you live in constant terror and constant fear of this white boy. This white boy can do whatever he wants to. He can even walk into your house and have sex with your woman and you won't do anything about it because you are afraid. And you are teaching our young black males to be afraid, to be cowards like you, to grow up to be monsters like you. You have become a blight on our society. And this is your own fault. This is your doing. I blame you because you are the front runner. You are the mover and the shaker. You are the constructor, the architect, the authoritator. I blame you. I blame no one else. I don't want to hear nothing about no black woman. This is your fault. You have allowed this to take place because you are too cowardly to change it. This is why you won't go get up and check what goes bump in the night because you are a coward. This is why you bear down on your women and children, because you are a coward. This is why you have taken up arms against your own women and children in a savage attempt to commit murder, because you are a coward. And you have become the worst coward our time has ever seen. This is the badge you wear, the badge of a spooked individual. Who's so terrified of his enemy that he has allowed himself to see the very people that love him as his enemy. The loving care of the Black woman you see as something that is repugnant and repulsive because of your fear of this white boy. If you are spewing hatred and vitriol towards the Black women and children, you are readily defiling yourself and becoming a walking, talking, biological monstrosity of humanity. When will we raise warriors? How do we raise warriors, young men of integrity and honor, fearless young men who will take our race by the reins and lead it in the proper direction? When and how, when there's so many derelict and cowardly and monstrous Black men? When we see brutality against our own women and children by our own kind, this isn't a badge of honor, this is a badge of shame. The world sees how you care for your own kind. They see how you hate your own people, how you hate your women and your children, so much that you're willing to take up arms against them and attempt to murder them. This is the type of information that makes other races of men around the world scratch their head, because they see that you don't understand what it is that you're doing to yourself. The more you brutalize your women and children and kill your women and children, the closer you become to your own destruction. The closer you come to your own destruction, the closer you come to the destruction of us all. I've heard many of you with this wild and crazy thought about saving yourself and going to another country and assimilating to a foreign man's culture and commandeer his women. Such fanciful thoughts are extremely dangerous in the real world. These are dangerous thoughts that can cost you your life in an instant. Your place is here with your black women and children. That is where you should be. Your place isn't in another country, in a foreign country, in another man's patriarchy or matriarchy with his women and children. Your place is here. The black man's place is with the black women and the black children. You are needed here, not elsewhere. They do not need you in a foreign culture. You are not one of them. You are one of us, and your place is here. This nonsense about saving yourself and flying thousands of miles to go live in someone else's culture is ludicrous. It's just another way for you to cover up your fear of responsibility and the fact that you're too cowardly to stand up and fight this big, bad white bully back. You don't want to fight him back. You're scared to raise your hand to him. You're scared to say something to him. You are afraid of him. He can walk down the street and you'll jump out your skin. A far cry from what I'm used to. I come from a time where we weren't afraid of white folks. They were afraid of us. And you demean our accomplishments in those days. You demean us all because now you are afraid of him. You demean us and what we established in the 60s and 70s. You demean all of that with your cowardice today. You are an absolute disgrace. It makes me sick to my stomach when I listen to many of you sit here on social media and talk like little scared rabbits, little frightened rabbits. Afraid to bleed, afraid to take a little pain, scared to death of conflict. But you have no problem turning that anger and anguish on the black woman because you see, you view her as weaker and you view her as someone you can stand up against. That is a shameful mentality to have. You cannot walk amongst real men with such a weak mentality. You cannot stand amongst warriors with such a feeble mentality. You cannot be the defender of your race with such a cowardly stance. Men go to war with other men, not women. The wars are fought amongst men. The piece of shit that you heard in this video, unfortunately, seems to be a large number of our community. As far as the mentality goes, and this kind of weak and dangerous mentality is affecting our young boys. When you have depraved lunatics who form factions like SYSBM and Red Pill and the Hebrew Israelites, all of this, understand that these factions, their purpose is to destroy the minds of your young black children. None of these factions are conducive to black progress, black prosperity, black unity, black love. They are not conducive to any of that. They are the antithesis of. They are anti-Black. They deserve no respect or honor from us. They are not our allies or our friends. They are not our people. I will not give them or afford them that honor. You can do what you will, but I will not honor a traitor, a turncoat, a coward, and a monster, a terrifier of our women and children. Like I said, the only man in that scenario, the only man in those women's lives, he had a mother and sister. The only man in their lives was the one who lost his life in the true act of bravery. Let us salute that young man, Earl III, because at the age of 15, he was a real man, a man of courage, and knew what it was to protect the sanctity of life. The monster that took his life should not have the honor or bestowed the honor of being called his father. I never thought I'd see the day where the Black man would just willingly lay down and accept crawling around on all fours like a whipped dog, a frightened puppy, and be willing to compromise his own sexuality because he fears that white boy so much that he's even willing to become his bitch. I'm disgusted at what I've seen in this generation. Weak, cowardly, pitiful Negroes. It's time to do something about this. This has gone on long enough. Those of us who understand what to do need to band together, put our heads together, and come up with a plan, step by step, to deal with this. This cannot be allowed to continue any longer. And I'll say one more time, a 15-year-old boy died with the honors of a grown man, defending his mother and sister against a monster who do not deserve the title husband nor father. Those titles are reserved for honorable men, strong men, men of integrity, fearless men. That is who those titles belong to. We are in this situation because we are being led by the weak and the cowardly. And until we eradicate that, destruction will be our destiny. Shout out to the people in the chat, the E Nation representing strong, Belle Mort, Queen of the E Nation, Hassan Burton, Royal Knight. Hello, Diane Renee, Princess Bree. How are you, beautiful Black people today? Peace, power, and unity to all of you. Black Seed Supreme as always. Now, this is the time where I'll open up the lines for those who want to come up and have a discussion with me. Come up if you will. If you do not, then I will bid you all adieu and get back to some work. But let me get the link out for those who want to come up and have a discussion about either the video that you've heard or what I've said. I'm willing to have a conversation with anyone. Shout out to Vonda Harris. Beautiful job on Ladies Night last night, Vonda, the queen, a queen of the E Nation. We have big plans for Ladies Night. This is now the Ebony Star Network, the media hub of the E Nation. We're also backed by the Big Gray Machine. We're also protected by the Big Gray Machine known as the Gray Regime with Commander Cerulean Gray. Shout out to the Gray Regime. All right, here's the link coming out. All right, the panel is now open. If anybody who wants to come up and hang out, talk, I got plenty of time today. I'm off. So I took the opportunity to come out and talk about this because it's been weighing on my mind for quite some time. It's time that we talk about these things on a consistent basis so that they can be put in the forefront and they can become a priority because they have to change. They must change. This is the destruction of a race by its own people. And to look at it in any kind of other way would be making a grave, grave mistake. Shout out to Oni. How are you? Glad you can make it. I'm done with my rant though. anyone can come up, Bella. It doesn't matter. Women can give their input, men can give their input. It's a problem that affects both sides. It affects both sides, but the men are the ones who have to fix it. This falls squarely on Black men. And we have to fix it. And we can fix it. You have to be willing to fix it. Like I told the person the other day, when they talked about a raging storm that they were trapped in the middle of. And they was told that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And they were saying that they didn't want to hear that. But I said, you know, sometimes when you're in the middle of a storm and the will to fight isn't enough, then you must be willing to die to face down that storm. Supreme King Coon. You have anything interesting today? It begins with the Black men, Ani. It doesn't begin anywhere else but there. And I invite any Black man to come up here and conversate with me about it who sees it differently. Yeah, Supreme King Coon knows all about it because he has one of these factions that are destroying the minds of our young Black males. Isn't that right, Mr. Coon? Something you seem to be proud of. See, you have enemies like that among us. You see, we have to understand. You see, one of the reasons why I allow Mr. Coon to come in here, and I don't want anybody attacking him, because I want you to see and understand who the enemy is. That's why I let him come in here. I don't want anyone to attack him. I want you to get used to seeing what an enemy really is. I want you to understand their psyche and their disposition. I want you to get used to seeing an enemy so you'll know how to deal with them, so you can recognize them no matter where you may be. You see, one of the problems that we have now in the Black community is that we can no longer tell friend from foe, and we embrace enemies. So this is one of the reasons why I allow Mr. Coon to come up here to help me psychologically deconstruct that mindset, that mentality. There was no difference of opinion, Mr. Coon. There was only one way to settle this. There is no hide and go seek. There is no cutting corners. There is no hiding under your bed or hiding in the closet. There is no talking your way out of this. You see, you don't understand that beast can't be reasoned with. You cannot talk to him. He taught you how to speak dog Latin. And you don't realize, Mr. Coon, you speak dog Latin. Go look up the term dog Latin, and that'll tell you what this white man thinks about you. See, he taught you how to speak dog Latin in his institutions of higher learning, and you think you're smart. You're actually an idiot. And the mere fact that you speak dog Latin bears that out. You see, you've gone to his school and read his documents. He taught you how to not read his documents. See, you don't understand the syntax in which his documents are fabricated in. And he knows you don't understand because he taught you not to understand. See, his language is quantum. He speaks in quantum language. You speak in dog Latin. Yeah, Black Sea Supreme. He calls himself Supreme King Coon. This is why I allowed him to come here. He is an absolute traitor. He's an enemy to black people. I want you guys to see and get used to and recognizing your enemies. Look at how they behave. Look at what his attempt is right now in the chat room. Understand what it is that he's trying to do. He's not here for your benefit. He's here for your detriment. Panel is open. So he wants you to join him into, he wants you to join into a discussion with him that tickles his fancy about him turning his back on his race. He wants to get into a discussion with you and ask you ridiculous questions to try to excuse his treachery against his own people. Of course he wants to recruit. Everybody has the free will to do what they want. I'm just merely pointing out who the enemies are. See, one thing about Mr. Coon is that he's very clear in his understanding about black people. It's very clear that he does not stand with us. I have no problem with that. I don't stand with him or his organization either. But it's very important for us to know who our enemies are so we can stop embracing them. That's why I allow him and others like him to come in here so you can clearly see and recognize who they are so that you may recognize them wherever they may be. No. He's good. Let him stay. want you guys to get the full effect of what these people are really about, so you can stop making this mistake and embracing them, respecting them, thinking that they're one of us, thinking that they have our best interest at heart, when they clearly don't. They're giving them the benefit of the doubt for the sake of opinion. They deserve no benefit of the doubt. They deserve no opinion. They deserve no respect. Not ours, anyway. Let them get all of that from the enemies that they have sided themselves with. They do not deserve any of those things from us. All right, and I want you to really recognize it. Understand the mistake that you're making when you give these people the benefit of the doubt, when you allow doubt to come into your mind as to who they are. See, I want him to keep coming in here until there's absolutely no doubt in your mind as to who he is and what his agenda is and what side he stands on. See, only then when you come into that understanding that you would truly stop embracing enemies and allowing themselves to Trojan horse their way into your private sanctity or sanctities. These guys are Trojan horses all over the place because we allow that. We allow these lunatics who are filled with murderous hatred. Well, actually, he's worse than the devil. Mr. Coon, I see that you decided to pay me a visit.
Hey, what's going on, Max?
What's going on?
Man, I'm surprised. I was looking in the chat and people were saying that it makes me a devil and I need to go. I was like, man, I thought I left on a good note the last time I was.
Sure, of course it makes you a devil. What do you think it's supposed to make you?
A human?
Humans have feelings, sir. Humans have compassion. You have none of those.
Oh, why do you say that?
Why do I say that? Are you seriously?
Yeah.
You belong to a anti-hate group called SYSBM.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you wrote some of the tenets, did you not? Didn't you offer some of the tenets?
Yeah, I sure did. Oh,
what's on your mind, Mr. Coon?
Yeah, I was just listening in for a little bit while I was getting some graphic design done for a client. I saw like your thing pop up. I was like, this is interesting. I wonder who is these people that are going around talking about killing people?
Well, there are some of those who have gone around saying these things, but there's even a greater problem. See, I'm more concerned with your influence.
My influence?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a coon. I can't influence a lot of people.
Right. And that has influence on our young black males. A negative influence. You see, they think it's okay to be coons too.
You mean to tell me that there's some young men that are listening to my voice and they're saying,
yes,
I want to be a coon too.
Yes, about 18 or 20 of them jumped a young black girl
Oh man, I didn't even know.
Following the ideology that you and your anti-black groups spouse all over social media.
Wow, I've never heard of a coon attacking anybody.
Well,
I thought coons were kind of scared and didn't want to
oh
get
no,
in any
coons
type of
attack black
conflict.
people all the time, sir.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like, could you name me a coon that has done something violent to someone?
Sure.
Cool.
Clarence Thomas, ABL, Gloria Steinem.
You're serious? You really think that people see ABL or Clarence Thomas walk into a room and they think that's a violent individual?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. See, if you look at it in a two-dimensional way, you won't see the dangers that they pose to black people.
So how does ABL get people killed?
Because of the rhetoric that he spews to young black males, that conservative, destructive mentality that is negative towards black people. You see, when you take a young mind and you shape it in a negative way against its own people, that is destruction, sir. Because now that young mind will pit himself against his own people.
But you just stated that there was like this group of dudes that jumped some girl. I mean, I don't see.
Yes, I know that was entertaining for you guys.
No, I don't look at that as any kind of positive anything. But I'm just kind of worried. I'm wondering, how does one go from ABL to that type of group? Because I doubt that anyone in that type of group would even listen to ABL at all.
Well, that's probably because you have the wrong understanding about what a coon really is. So you think a coon is harmless, right?
Well, that's what I've been told.
No, coons are extremely dangerous, very violent in so many different ways. They'll even kill for the white man. They'll kill their own brothers and sisters. And they have.
So you think ABL will go out and shoot some people or hurt somebody?
If the white man wanted them to, yes.
Wow. I don't think he would hurt a fly.
Well, thinking comes from not knowing. He's a coon.
I know I wouldn't. I don't even own.
He's the coon. Well, really? Well,
yeah.
The white man hasn't really approached you yet.
I mean, wow.
You see, that kind of thinking tells me that you haven't really been approached yet.
Oh.
You're not spooked yet, you see.
Oh. Well, I may be a low-level coon then.
Probably so.
Maybe I need to change my name from Supreme King Coon to low-level coon.
No, you know, the name is fine.
I like that. Low-level coon, LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Like a business.
See, when that white boy comes to you, put some fear in your heart, you find out that you're capable of all kinds of things. See, fear has a strange way of letting us know what we're capable of. You ever see coons like Jesse Lee Peterson and Larry Elder?
Oh man, those are two of my favorite guys, man. I was telling my wife about Jesse Lee the other day, man.
You ever pay attention to the look on their faces when they speak?
Yeah, I mean, I like Jesse Lee Peterson.
Those are two men that's been approached by white people. They're spooked.
And you think that Jesse Lee Peterson would be out in the street fighting people?
Absolutely. I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson defends the Klan.
Wow.
ABL also defended the Klan.
So Ray, this group says that an individual like a Jesse Lee Peterson, that he should be grouped in as a violent individual. Do you imagine Jesse Lee Peterson out in the street fighting or jumping somebody or shooting?
Not just him. All of you coons are violent.
Yeah, I'm like he's like in his what 70s or something. Man, that's one of the least violent people I can think about, man.
Hmm. The degree in which you are underestimating him is astounding.
Oh, okay. Well, has there been like any confirmation of those people being violent?
And a lot of them have been violent.
Like, does J.C. Peterson or others, do they have records of violence?
I'm sure they do. You go look them up.
Huh. Man, I wish K Black Supreme could come up because I would have a forward moving conversation because he seems very interested in chatting
Yeah,
with
he
me.
doesn't like you very much.
But why? He doesn't even know me.
No, he shouldn't like you.
But how can you not like somebody you don't know?
Well, he does know you.
But we've never had a conversation before.
Sure you have. Every time you open up your mouth, people are listening.
Wow.
You tell us who you are every time you come in here.
Oh, man.
You tell us that you are a coon. You're anti-black. You hate black women. You hate black children. You hate black people so much that you created a hate group against black people. You are anti-black. You have sided with the enemies who hate black people. I see you no different than a white supremacist.
Well, I don't hate anybody.
Sure you do.
I dislike certain actions that
Well,
people.
hatred is just a strong dislike, sir.
No, I was saying I dislike certain actions that people make, but so far as hating people, no,
Right.
I love humanity.
Actions, right, and you hate those actions so much that you created a group that is anti-black. And you are an enemy to
what does it
women
mean
and
to
black
be
children. Let me ask you a question.
To be
how can you be an enemy to the mother of all civilization?
Oh, because I don't believe that.
Really? Well, science proven that black women have mitochondria and nuclear DNA.
All people do.
No, all people don't.
So
Where is this? No. Produce that.
Oh, I already have.
No. Produce it now. Produce that all people have that mitochondria, nuclear DNA. Produce that document.
Okay. Do you know what those two things are?
Provide a link.
I'm just asking.
Provide a link so that we may see for ourselves.
Okay, but I'm just asking, do you know what those two things
are? No. Provide the link so that we may see for ourselves. You see, you're not talking to a dummy. So you think you're talking to a dummy. That's your problem.
Oh, okay.
Provide the link so that we may see for ourselves.
Oh, where do I provide?
You can drop it right here in the chat.
What chat?
Right here in the regular chat, the general chat, where everybody else is.
Well, I can't do that because if you put I
don't understand why not.
Well, if I put a link there, it's going to instantly be shot down because
no, it's not going to be shot down.
Yeah, because
put the link in the chat, and we will just click on it, and we will see the document for ourselves. No one's going to shoot it down.
But only a person with a wrench can drop a link.
Okay, I will temporarily give you a link so you may drop it. Where is your name? Okay, there's your wrench. Drop that link, sir.
Okay. And there you go.
Okay. Let us see. Okay, where is the study, sir? I see a bunch of links.
What do you mean?
Oh, this is the Genome Study Project? This is inaccurate, sir.
How so?
It's not accurate, sir. That's a Genome Study Project. It's done by a bunch of compromised scientists.
Okay, so where does
It's not a reputable source, sir.
so where does
Give me
your
a
source
real
come
give me
from?
a real study by a accredited scientist, not some discredited group of people who are compromised.
So you're saying that the National Academy of Sciences of the
That's the genome.
US,
That's a part of the Genome Study Project, sir. Give me a real document.
Okay, so what would qualify as a
A real
document?
document, sir.
Okay, I understand what you're saying though. What I'm asking is what would a
I don't want to get into all
real
of that.
document?
I need a credible scientist that did the study that all people on Earth has mitochondria and nuclear DNA.
I just dropped that link.
The Genome Study Project is done by compromised scientists. Their work is inaccurate. Many of their works have been disproven and debunked
How so?
by many people, Black scientists, white scientists, German scientists, all over the world. A lot of their work has been disproven. But you're smart. You're supposed to know that, right?
What? The information that I just gave you is just general science. But I can give you more. I mean, no big deal to me.
Okay, so this is
Yeah, I can send you several sources from all over. I mean, they're all going to tell you the same thing, that all people have mitochondrial DNA. I mean, that's just, it doesn't just belong solely to the Black woman.
okay. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem with what you're talking about here, right? What you don't understand is this here: the mitochondria nuclear DNA that you're talking about, it's not the same that's in the Black woman. The Black woman has a codex of mitochondria DNA and nuclear DNA. That is the DNA signatures of just about every race on this earth. Everybody doesn't have that. they do have a form of it given to them by the mother, but they don't have the Kodaks.
So where does this information come from?
The information of mitochondrial DNA Kodaks.
Uh-huh.
That's been proven by many. As a matter of fact, let me give you a link.
Yeah, please do.
Of a scientist.
Okay, you know, you work with health. Have you ever heard of the special mitochondria DNA codex that only resides within Black women?
I'm about to drop you a link right now.
Doesn't that mean that they're not human? That their cells are not human cells? They have to be some other type of cell.
Give me 1 second to find it.
Yeah, he's sending me the link to the scientifically proved mitochondria codex.
Is it from
Well, that's what I want to see. He's gonna drop the link in just a second. But I was just giving them all sorts of links that show that, you know, mitochondrial DNA is in every mammal on the face of the planet. So it's not even unique to humans. So
there we go.
only Black women?
yeah.
But then that would mean that when they have children, if it's a male, they would have to transfer. How do they retain it? And only to the women.
Hey, Anti. It's been a while since we got to chat before, again at least.
I gotta start bookmarking these things better. So while you wait, Mr. Coon, what's on your mind today?
No, man, I was just listening to you, man. And sometimes whenever I get a chance, I'll listen to a few things that you say. And to be honest with you, to be, to kind of break bread or whatnot, I don't believe that everything that you say is off. I think that some of it has merit. But I just think that there are different ways that we go about accomplishing those things.
Hold on 1 second.
Like, for instance, anything that has to do with people talking or promoting violence, yeah, I'm totally against that. That's sick. Those people should be reported and sent to jail. Trying to do violence against someone, that's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's what your group promotes.
No, not at all.
Where is he? I got the short version, but I want the long version. I need the long version, not the short version. I have what I'm looking for, but I have a short version of it. Just give me 1 second. Trying to find the longer version.
So, hey, babe. So this person writes in the chat here concerning the origin. He says, Black women are the oldest living beings on the earth. Why would every other woman's mitochondrial DNA be the same as hers? You bugging.
See, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So there's a difference between a mold and copies of that mold. The copies do not have the same properties of the mold. There's something called a master mold.
Oh, so you all are saying that all the other women on the face of the planet came from the black woman?
Absolutely.
Oh, he said absolutely.
She is still the only one with mitochondria DNA. You know why? Because if she is the mother of all civilization, right, then the mitochondria given to the people who are her offspring is still her mitochondria DNA.
So he's saying that they're the mother of all civilization. And so I'm guessing that means that everybody else on the planet are the children of black women?
Yes, the black woman is the mother of all civilization, sir. That's been proven scientifically as well. Hold on, we'll get to that. I'm gonna drop you a link on that one too. As soon as I find this one, I keep finding the short version. I can't find looking for the long version. I have what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find the longer version of it.
Yeah, that's fine. But then that raises some questions for me, because if everybody else comes from, black people, then why would we ever be mad at our own children?
It's called mental degeneration, sir. Subliminal programming. Trickery and misdirection.
But they're our children.
What does that mean I just played a video of a man who murdered his own son trying to kill his wife. What are you talking about? And he played himself as a victim because he's mentally weak. Can't handle adversity.
Oh, yeah.
That's what your group teach these young black boys. You teach them to be mentally weak. Can't be mentally weak living in this society. You'll turn into a madman.
Oh, wow. So how would leaving the culture behind turn you into a madman?
You can't leave your culture behind. Your culture follows you everywhere you go. If you grew up in it and you cultivated in it, it's in you. Everywhere you go, your culture will follow you. It's who you are.
Oh, so you can't change who you are. So like if you grow up in a certain culture, you're going to be that way forever until you die.
Well, there are some things you can change, but there's certain things you cannot change.
What would be like some of those certain things that you cannot change?
Well, you could probably speak another language. You could probably do some things differently as far as, food or whatever. But as far as your mental makeup, you are permanently cultured that way.
Oh.
Now you can deny it. You can deny it if you want, but no matter where you go, it's going to be a part of you. People are going to see it, no matter how much you try to cover it up. Here we go. Here we go.
Another person in the chat, Love, says, this dude's self-hate is over the top.
Okay.
Now here's the link, sir. This is a scientist named Dr. Delbert Blair.
He's dropping a link to me to the
there you go.
Study about the it's a YouTube video. Okay. So it's a guy named Dr. Delbert Blair.
Yep.
And he says that the title of the video from this doctor is Black Woman is God.
Yep.
And it's from the Meta Center, Chicago. Now, when I go to the link of the Meta Center Chicago, it has a additional link to it that says Metaphysics Speaks. Okay. So
Okay.
So now we're on the meta.
You know what metaphysics is, sir?
We're on the meta level of physics.
Do you know what metaphysics is?
No, I am unaware of the depth of metaphysics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go there, oh, babe, there's gonna be some conferences. Yeah, like they have one in Chicago on June the 5th and 6th of this year, 2020. It says at the Meta Center, Dr. Delford Blair will be there, and he's going to be presenting on this, the journey of the superhuman.
Yeah, his science is powerful.
And there's going to be a special guest there, love.
His
name is Master Climate, and he's a master of eternal chi with live demonstrations. But I thought chi was a Chinese thing. I don't know.
Not a Chinese thing. See, again, you're misinformed about a lot of things, sir. This is why you talk like a coon.
But I'm just wondering, because they have another one on April 11th, 2020. And this is the superhuman experience. It was going to be in Baltimore, but they said they're going to.
Do you know what a superhuman is, sir?
And Master Climbing, the master of eternal chi, is going to be there. And
you know what a superhuman is?
Well, I think it's trying to tell me here in this.
I'm asking you, do you know what one is?
No, I'm learning. That's why I'm glad that you gave me this link. And they have a picture of the Buddha on here.
You ever heard of a term called quantum language?
No, I have never heard of the term quantum language.
You ever heard of a term called dog Latin?
Like quantum physics.
I've never heard of the term dog Latin.
What?
Look up the term dog Latin, you'll see the definition. It's the language of an idiot.
So Dr. Delbert Blair. He's a metaphysician, baby.
Metaphysician?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
It says Dr. Blair is an engineer, research scientist, metaphysics teacher, and historian of the highest level. For over 50 years, he has been the director of the Meta Center in Chicago since 1973, a former pastor of his own church, and has lectured and answered questions in over 200 forums. On various topics like the facts and myths about 2012, the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the face of a Black woman on the pyramids of Mars, our two sons, radiation in hospitals, cells from hell, the danger of cell phones and other energy vampires, ELF, extra low frequency, sexual energy dangers, and the dangers of driving cars and other modes of transportation, low frequency, melanin wars, womb man, why we should avoid vaccines, return of the Black cosmic forces, applied science of meditation, what are diodes, and how can it help you, homosexuality, what it is and what it ain't, and much, much more. Yeah, it says what it ain't.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on?
What's good?
Hey, what's going on, Rozzy?
Yeah, man. What y'all
Sitting up
talking about
here.
now, man?
Now,
Well,
Mr.
I'm sitting.
Coon,
Yes, sir.
now, this man has impeccable credentials. Now, to continue with your education, I'm going to give you somebody that you like, somebody that you're familiar with, you know, white people, right? That's going to educate you on just how much of an idiot you are. Okay? You ready for that? I'm going to drop that link too.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm anticipating.
And he's going to teach you how they taught you how to be an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Okay? His name is David Wynn Miller.
There's another guy. Oh, this is a YouTube link as well. His name is David Wynn Miller, Quantum Grammar Seminar. And this is from the Global Quantum Grammar Collegium Forum.
Yes. You see, this is what I said to you. You see, your underestimation is, you know, it will prove to be your undoing. So you think you're talking to a dummy.
Now, when I tried to go to the link of the CSSCPSG.org, I get a broken link, but I'm sure
Link
the
isn't
video.
broken, sir.
Huh?
The video works fine.
No, not the link that you sent me. I'm at the video right now, but he has like a website for the Global Quantum Grammar Collegiate Forum. And when I try to go to the website link is dead. So I was hoping to get more information on the Global Quantum Grammar Collegium Forum, but I guess I'll just have to suffice.
See, when you watch these videos, when you get a chance, you realize that your information is puny at best.
Okay. So, but yeah, I've learned a lot already. I mean, I've learned of Dr. Delbert Blair. I didn't know that this guy existed, and I will see his video. Black Woman is God, and then also this guy named David.
See, the reason why you probably having
Miller.
the reason why you are probably having an issue with that term is because you've been taught misinformation about what a real God is and what a God really is. So you probably think that the God is some spooky boo Negro up in the sky, right?
No, I'm open to learning.
This is real science, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
not some BS from crazy white scientists at CERN who have been mentally and socially compromised. This is real, impeccable, powerful science.
He said that the stuff that I sent that had to do with like
the stuff that you send is puny and misdirected.
He said that stuff is puny and misdirected.
Yes, and misdirected.
And those guys are compromised.
You really ought to look up the term dog Latin, Mr. Coon.
Yeah, it doesn't show me where Dr. Blair went to school at, but
I believe Mr. Blair has passed on.
Yeah, I was just looking at his bio on his site, and I was just trying to see where he learned his information from.
Now, I dropped you some links out of my personal library.
Oh, okay.
Which has vast information in it. Like I said, you're not speaking to a dummy.
Oh no, you can't. I wouldn't say that at all.
Don't get me fucked up because I sound like a street dude. I'm 52 years old, son.
Oh, no, never that.
Max, you don't sound like no street dude, Max. Yeah. Come on, Max. Why would you say that, Max? Yeah.
Go watch those videos and get some real knowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch some of these videos to, like you said, get some real knowledge.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you. I can't wait till you watch The White Boy and what he breaks down to you is mind blowing.
What the white boy say?
Mr. David Wynn Miller. You know, he prosecuted a judge with just language.
Oh, he said that he prosecuted a judge with language.
Hey yo.
The judge's own language.
Is that the guy?
Yeah, I think that's the guy.
But I thought the girl.
No, he said that there's some. I'm guessing that this doctor.
Let me ask you a question, Coon. What's the court? What's a courtroom?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea, man.
You have no idea.
Because again, what I'm seeing here is that there's a totally different grammar and language that exists.
Absolutely.
So, since I'm totally in the dark, I can't answer.
It's called quantum language. I'm trying. You're not listening to me, Coon. I just said you've been taught to speak dog Latin. You're not listening.
So, is David Wynn Miller? Is he a good white man?
Hey yo, Supreme King Coon, man.
So let me know what you think of the information when you get a chance to view it.
I will, but I'm just confused because that's a white dude. Is he a good white man?
Hey yo, what made you come up today, bro?
Oh, I was just I was just listening, and then Max, he said he opened up the panel, and he said that he wanted people like me to have discussions because he said that it would be
not
helpful.
Not anybody, First Lady.
Yeah,
none of that stuff is working.
So is David Wynn Miller a good white man, or?
Now you've asked that question. What? This is I believe the fourth time. Did I lose count?
Oh no, I didn't know if anybody heard me.
Yeah, we heard you.
I mean, you got good white men out there, but we don't give a fuck about them.
So go and learn something about this black woman that you're teaching young black men to hate. How amazing she is.
Yeah, the black
something you obviously don't know.
Yeah, I say I have a lot to learn.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, Supreme King Coon.
Oh yeah.
You don't know that the black woman is amazing?
Oh no, I didn't know that. The only amazing that I knew was when Jesse Lee Peterson, when he says, "That's amazing." That's what I only know.
Hold up, no, seriously. No, all jokes aside, bro.
I am being serious.
No, seriously.
No, he's not. This is a big ass joke to him. Like, I don't even get it. I just have one quick question, right, for the guest on the panel, right? So this particular channel is a space where we try to promote healthy relationships between black men and black women, addressing some of the dysfunction. Like, we're trying to do things to repair all the things you rant and rave about. You don't have any interest in that, right? You don't have any interest in repairing that type of stuff. You just say, just leave it as it is and go somewhere else, right? Isn't that your philosophy?
Repeat that one more time.
I said, this particular space is where we promote positive relationships between black men and black women. We clear on that part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also, we want to address and provide solutions to a lot of the dysfunction that occurs in Black families, but specifically between Black men and Black women. You got that part too?
Yes.
Okay. Your particular philosophy is opposed to that. Am I correct?
Yup.
Not exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So your tenets that you promote is not opposed to that?
No.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, and this
Yes,
is
it is.
and I'm not even going to go back and forth because we went over those tenets. The tenets said Black women are not a viable option for mating. Like, we went over that. So,
But not all of
he's
them.
not gonna. Yeah, it says not all, but because it's such a small amount, they're not viable. I've read the thing. It says that first, and then it says they're not viable afterwards. So the fundamental part is they're not viable because it's such a small amount in your own tenets, right?
Yeah, but there's always a chance.
But it says what it says.
Yeah, that's why it was written, because
Okay.
there's always a
No,
chance.
no, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you because this is just a mockery. Like, we're really trying to
So let me ask you
do
this.
some positive stuff, but I know you're here mocking, you're being funny, you're going back and forth with whoever that is. I'm assuming that's your wife in the back, but I may be wrong. Everything he says, you're like repeating it to her, like, oh, listen to this bullshit he's saying over here. Like, if you're not coming over here aligned with what we're trying to do, like, why are you making it your business to come over here and be oppositional? I mean, if we're not aligned with what your philosophy is, why keep coming over here and trying to throw a monkey wrench at what we're doing? We don't come to your spaces and do this kind of thing.
Well, Max said that it's a good thing to hear from people like me, because so that it can be clearly.
I'm not asking about what Max said. I'm asking you a specific question. So please give me a specific answer about you. I didn't ask you anything about what Max said.
Well, I'm trying to help.
Really?
Yes.
Please explain that to me. How are you trying to help by being completely oppositional to what we're trying to do?
Okay. Because there has been a mix-up as to who the coons really are, and also there's been this mix-up of that coons are these angry, violent people, and that could be furthest from the truth. I mean,
but who was
do I sound like an angry, violent person?
Run that back. Run that back. It's something called passive aggressive, which is just as bad as outright anger and aggression. But let's run that back. When did we ever? All right, let me rephrase that. What part of what he was saying today addressed anything about a coon that you felt like you needed to come over here and defend coons?
Oh, because he was saying that was like this. I haven't seen the story yet or the video, but from what he was describing, there was this group of individuals that jumped on this Black woman, and then he said, these are these marginalized groups, these SYSBM, these coon type of guys, and I'm like, I know a lot of coons. They're not violent. They wouldn't be involved in something like that. They don't even like being in altercations.
Okay. So you really think coons are a positive thing for Black people?
Well, I think that they're nonviolent.
No, that's not what I asked you. Are coons a positive thing for Black people? Yes or no? Is it yes or no? Yes? Please explain that.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of violence that occurs in various neighborhoods in the community, and have more nonviolent people. That would be helpful.
No.
Hold on.
Hold on. Stop. No, Razi. No, Razi. Let's rewind that back just a step. Please with a direct answer. Give me your definition of a coon.
Oh, sure. I think it's a Black person who understands that he doesn't have to conform to what people say it is to be a Black person.
Oh God. Oh.
And that they are open to absorbing information from all over the world.
Boy.
Razi, relax yourself, Razi. Please.
Hey, Don Cato. I see
Thank
him in
you.
the chat, man. We're friends.
Okay. Yeah, so your definition of a coon is not aligned with the majority of Black people's definition of a coon. So that's the problem in itself right there. So you're taking this coon title and you're spinning it into whatever you want it to.
Well, that's because there's a coon language that I don't think that you all are privy to.
Really? There's a secret coon society?
See, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm just asking.
That's why it's important for me to be here.
It's a secret coon society. So
yes.
Please, where is the society? What's the name of it?
Coon.
Coon?
Yes.
And where could I read some information about this secret coon society?
See, but that's the whole thing. It's so you have to be a coon in order to get the information.
No, this whole thing is this coon society is made up in your head. That's your own interpretation of it. There's no broad understanding that that's what a coon is. So this is being spun and flipped and slipped and all kinds of stuff to fit, again, your personal narrative so that you can come into spaces and do this passive aggressive thing that you've been doing.
Okay, if you don't believe that there's a secret coon society, let me ask you this then.
Coon Sparrow.
Why in every bit of Black history has there always been coons?
This is
because some people just feel like acceptance is more important than fighting to get what you
this
need
is
to survive without assimilating into a different person, into a different culture, into a different society.
See, that's what you think,
like
but
wait a minute.
There's an organization behind it.
You guys hear me?
Has always let them survive.
You guys hear me?
Max is trying to speak.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, coon. We're not going to get into a coon conversation. You know what a coon is. We know what a coon is. Okay, we're not going to get into some fantasy type discussion like we don't know what it is.
Hey, yo,
the information that you have is the information. It's powerful information, whether you try to mock it or not.
Right.
I'm not trying to mock it at all. I think that it is powerful.
Hold on a second, Max. The whole thing of what I was trying to do is show, that this is a joke. This is really
agreed.
Honestly, this is a complete joke, and it's a complete waste of time.
I agree, Queen.
Bigger and better things to tackle than being antagonized by someone who thinks this is a joke.
I agree, Queen. So, Coon, do you have something to add that is positive, or you just coming up here to?
Yes, definitely positive. Again, I think that it's a very good thing that you're raising awareness about individuals who go out with the mindset to try to physically harm people. Yeah, man, those people need to go. Like that's some mental illness going on, where people feel that they can just go out and harm people indiscriminately. That's ridiculous.
Huh? Hey, yo, Supreme, man. When has coons ever made a major impact in the Black community?
They do so all the time.
No, hold up. In a positive way. Name a coon in the history of Black America who made a major impact in a positive way in Black America.
Brown versus the Board of Education, Thurgood Marshall.
How was he a coon?
Because he wasn't married to a black woman.
Now that's detrimental, though. But he wasn't a coon because of that.
That's what the consensus is that if you marry out, you're automatically a coon.
Was he with a white woman?
I think she was Polynesian.
Okay, Polynesia. Ain't that a nationality?
Well, she wasn't black.
Well, listen, just because you got a non-black person, that don't mean you're a coon. And nobody says you're a fucking coon because you were a non-black person.
Well, Sanji said that Sanji said that Kobe was a coon because he was married to a non-black woman.
No.
Sanji has her own thoughts in her own space. Don't bring Sanji's ideology over here because that's not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought she was esteemed here. I'm sorry.
We don't have any animosity. She is welcome here. She does come over to this channel. But again, we do what we do, and Sinji does what she does. So please stop lumping everybody who you put under this umbrella, maybe B1, because I see that floating around a lot. Everybody, like, we're cool with people, but everybody has their own thing that they're doing, and we doing our own thing over here. We're not responsible with if it's not said or represented on this particular channel. Then don't introduce it, please.
Okay, and I respect that. That you taught me something. I didn't know that. I thought it was all one thing.
So don't you feel like ashamed, dog? Like to be against the black community don't you feel ashamed about that?
To be against the black community?
Yeah, because you listen to me. You promote SYSBM. Save yourself, black man. It has no. Listen to me. Listen. Don't respond. Just listen. It's the problem, people. They don't listen. It has nothing to do with black empowerment. It has nothing to do with coming together with black women to create a community. It has nothing to do with that. So let me tell you this, and I tell other people this. If you're not encouraging black men to come together with black women to empower the community, then you're not. If you're not telling black, if you're not preaching that to black men, you're not for black men. That's facts. Because we're in a situation, right? As black people, we're not in the best of shape. So what we need to be trying to doing is get ourselves together. And if you're not telling black men, you need to unite with black women to fix this situation. You can't be for black men.
Well said, Rozzy. Well said.
Now, what you said, Rozzy, is a very, very good statement. And I really do, to a lot of the degree, I absolutely agree with you.
Hey, Mr. Cohn, if you want, you can bring your wife on. We would love to talk to both of you.
I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about that because I get very protective when it comes to my wife. So
no one is going to attack her. We are intelligent black people here, sir.
But to
we don't mind people having differences of opinion.
But to speak to what Rozzy was saying, I agree with him. But one of the things that confuses me is this: in a lot of spaces that talk about black empowerment and coming together with black women, you have a lot of people, particularly the men, who do not want to commit and marry these women.
Well, then they are anti-black. It's very simple. This is not rocket science.
I mean,
I understand why we're having a conversation like this is some kind of Chinese arithmetic.
Yeah, if a god is in front of you, why wouldn't you want to marry that god?
See,
there's
this is what I'm
something wrong
talking
with
about.
you.
I'm sorry, Max. I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is that is a direct personal shot at Rozzy, who is a 27-year-old young man who's still living his life and doing what he has to do. So right now he does say things like he's against marriage.
I'm not
but he's
against.
still young. And he doesn't want to get married. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misquote you, Rozzy, but that he doesn't want to get married and he has no interest in getting married. But we also understand the dysfunctional culture that we have been living in all these years, and we are so anti the system and so anti this and so anti that, which again is something that we are working against on this particular channel, right? So that was again one of the passive aggressive attacks on Rozzy because Rozzy said he doesn't want to get married. So I just want
No, I'm not talking about Roz. I'm talking
yeah,
about a
come
lot of
on.
people
And
in
that's another
general.
thing. I could respect you a lot more, SKC, if you could just say stuff directly and stand on what you say instead of just this indirect, again, passive aggressive. Like you are the living example of passive aggressive.
Right. Let me jump in here real quick. So, Kuhn, you said that the black men don't want to marry black women.
Yeah, I think that's bad.
Are you saying that your group of black men don't want to marry black women? Because it seems that a lot of black men that I know love and marry black women.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is this, Max. It seems that within the black empowerment communities that you should see.
First of all, the black community isn't empowered, sir. It's in shambles.
No. I'm not talking about the black community as a whole. I'm talking about the groups that preach about black empowerment. It seems like those groups should be almost 100% married, but they're not.
Hold up.
That's bad.
Anything to gauge anyone by.
Can I just say something to that? First of all, you said 100% marriage. It's a lot of people who are married in the so-called black empowered community that you speak of. Now, 100 ain't everybody ain't gonna be married within that community, brother.
Yeah, and really that means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
100% marriage is unrealistic for any culture, any nationality, any group of people. Like, come on, let's stop this nonsense.
Yeah, it means
Like,
nothing. You're not saying anything.
Well, what I'm saying is it seems to me as though they would be pushing there to be a very, very high level
right, and that
of
is
marriage.
your reality. That is your reality projecting onto someone else. That's not an actual reality.
Well, why not?
Because people get married, at their own pace. You're not saying anything, sir.
I'm confused.
Again, and it's pointing out a BS statistic or
it doesn't mean anything because they're speaking black power and they're not married. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe they'll get married later. Who knows? They'll get married in their own time.
It's pointing out a particular problem, a particular ill, without addressing the actual cause of it. A lot of people, black people in particular, don't get married because they are anti the government system. It has nothing to do with they don't want to be together. They don't love each other. They don't want healthy families. And this is the narrative being pushed. That has nothing to do with it.
There's tons of
with that.
There are tons of black relationships that exist without marriage license.
So why would there need to be a promotion of black men and women getting together if they're already doing it?
Excuse me?
What I'm asking is why would there need to be a promotion of black men and women getting together if they're already doing that at a high rate?
Because right now what's going on in the community is that we have groups like yours who are anti-black,
Right.
Trying
And we
to
have groups
poison the
on the other
minds of our
side.
young black boys.
Right. And we also have female groups on the other side, such as these
Mhm.
swirl groups and all that, who are promoting the antithesis of what we're promoting over here. They're promoting the exact opposite. So that's why we need pushback on these groups that are coming up and pushing an agenda to break up black families.
Mm. So the black families are together and intact right now.
No, so see what you're doing. See, motherfuckers like you, what you're doing is causing further division. And so we already divided, but you're causing further division. And that's the
Oh, okay. So Razi, you're enlightening me. They're already divided.
black people are already divided. You already know this, right?
Why?
We have never denied that over here. Like, I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why, but what's the point?
There's no need to
Like, what's the point? And this is what I'm
right.
talking about.
There's no need to explain. He already knows this.
Hey, yo, Supreme, I think you just be playing around, bro. What?
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
man.
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to be patient with you. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to say something constructive, something that we can use.
Max, you gave me information about the two doctors that you sent me to, and I'm gonna listen.
Right, that's fine, but I'm waiting for you to add something constructive to the conversation. All of this dancing around and playing games.
There's a huge gap in my knowledge base because Lady Neek said that, and you said that there are groups of individuals that are together and they have thriving families and whatnot.
There are.
You know exactly what is being said, sir.
Like there's absolutely no black families that are together. There's none.
No. Hold on, Coon, you know exactly.
Saying like there was a lot of them. And
Coon,
then
you know
Razi
exactly
said
what
that.
being said. Listen, do you have something constructive to add to the conversation?
Well, do you mind if I just ask Razi a question?
Yeah.
Go right on ahead, but my patience is wearing thin.
Okay. Well, Razi, in your estimation, from your point of view, what has caused this division?
I think it's just self-hatred. And just being lost and not having the knowledge itself.
I can answer that as well. That's why SBM is causing the division.
Right, but Razi said that before that these groups they're adding to it. So what I'm wondering is before these groups even came about, what was the problem then?
Oh my God. Just want to continue to play games, don't you?
No, I'm really wondering. I'm not playing any game. I really would like to know. Like, what was the problem before?
You know exactly what happened to black people. All of you do.
Hey yo, Supreme King Coon, man.
Uh-huh.
You cannot promote black division and then criticize black people for not getting their shit together. That's
right. You couldn't have said that better, Razi. You could not have said that any better. As a matter of fact, say that shit again for the people in the cheap seats.
I said you cannot promote black division and then criticize black people for not getting their shit together.
Right. That is a good statement.
Right. So okay, so since it's a good statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would agree, right? So stop the SYSBM shit and promote black unity, nigga. What the fuck?
I mean, that makes sense, but can I ask questions?
I have a question.
Oh my God.
SYSBM, is that a group that is positive for black people?
No.
I think so.
In what way?
Because it helps lost boys and men.
Lost boys and men. Okay.
Oh my God, my God.
No, I have a question, Max. I have a follow up to that. What does it do for black women and black girls? Because those are black people too.
Oh, sure. It helps them to understand the need to um, look on the other side and to take care of their sons as well as they take care of their daughters.
How so? By calling them scraggle daggles?
No, no, just
They're
by
not
understanding the thought of this.
ratchet and not worth shit. I mean,
No,
because what
no.
positive impact can that have on somebody by beating them down if they're already down?
Well, it goes with this. It would be important that mothers would say, you know what, we see this stuff in the news that and on various outlets of, you know, black women are the most educated group in the United States and so forth. Well, mothers would want to
Okay, no,
say, no,
stop,
our children
stop.
are the
Hold on,
most educated.
stop, because you're dancing around again. Please specifically address how does calling black women and girls ratchet and scraggle daggles help them to improve themselves? I don't want to
Sure.
hear about what the news calls them the most educated, because that's
Oh,
not what
okay.
you can say.
Okay. Shame is good. It acts as a deterrent
Since when?
since the beginning of time.
Give me an example of that.
Okay. Young kids at school, uh, the teacher says, um, or their peers say, uh, your haircut is jacked up. What does that kid go do? Get a good haircut.
Now that's just some bullshit
Somebody
opinion you
says,
just gave.
you come to
When did
school
it
and
happen?
you
When did that ever happen?
somebody says you come to school and you kind of smell bad, and they shame that individual. And what does that individual do? They go home and make sure that they shower before they come to school again.
I've
Shame
actually
can be
seen
a
the
good
opposite. I've
deterrent.
seen when people get shamed that they withdraw even more. So I've seen kids get teased at school for various things, and what happens is they don't come back to school. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
but the majority don't.
No, that's not the majority. No, you can't prove that because that's not.
Yeah, you know how I can prove it
Go ahead, prove it.
within black culture, playing the dozens, jonesing, capping, all that stuff. That has been it's an integral part of youth life.
Yeah, and this led to negativity because you play the Joneses, somebody's feelings get hurt, and then it breaks out into a fight. That's been the reality. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was going to ask. Hey yo, the Supreme King Coon.
Hey, Rozzy.
I remember you had the debate with Taz on Prophet of Thought channel, right? And you had,
Yeah, yeah.
and you
Hey. Let's stop
Yeah, no,
all
stop
this
right.
name dropping.
You're taking him, no, not even that, but you're taking him way off the point I just made.
I was going, damn, I was going to get to a point. My bad, I didn't mean to name drop though. I'm sorry. But I remember you had a debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Supreme King King, right? And you showed a video and you had these negative images of black women, but when it came to the white woman and non-black woman, it was a bunch of positive images. And you know, my question is, why would you do some shit like that? Like, why do you look at black women in the worst light ever? Like, I just want to, that's what I want to know. Like, why do you look at black women as nothing but the stereotype? Because all you show was stereotypical bullshit about black women fighting, doing crazy shit, and like why you like they? That's what a coon would do. You want to know what the definition of a coon? A coon would probably do some shit like that. Like, don't you feel like like Guido, do you see any value in black women, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I can answer your question as to why that video was shown. I used to play basketball, and my coach did this thing one time, man. He used to videotape our practices, and
I hope you answer my question. You talking about basketball shit?
yeah, and it relates. It relates. I promise you. Well, I remember once when we were playing this team that was supposed to be much better than us and whatnot. Before the game, he had us come in and watch a video, and it was a cuts of our practices and all of the mistakes that we've made during the games. And then he played the video of our opponents, and our opponents was just doing all sorts of great stuff, you know, assists and blocks and steals and working as a team and the whole nine. And he said, okay, now look at this. This is who they think that you are. Go prove them wrong tonight. How do you think we played that night?
Excuse me. I'm sure you played a good game, right?
Yeah, we played I like it was our last game.
Okay,
so if individuals see videos of what people say that they are the worst of, and that this is what everybody thinks that you are, and this is how everybody else says that they are, then what should you go out and do? Prove them wrong, right?
But again, that's not how that works. No. Hold on, Razi. That's not how that works, right? Because all we have to do is look to mainstream media. We are always depicted as the worst of the worst of mainstream media. And what
yeah, but not by your coach. Not by your coach, though.
Who deemed you the coach of black women?
That's what I'm saying. You need Coach Coon on your team.
Really? Really?
Coach Coon trying to get your mind right.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Let me say this, man. You say prove them wrong. Who is them anyway?
Other people.
Other people like who?
Just other people in general.
What, like white folk?
No, just anybody that has a negative opinion of you.
Fuck them. Let me tell you something, man. People going to say listen, man, it ain't nothing we could do to change people's opinions about black people.
Yes, it can. There's a lot that you can.
No, listen, don't you know there's been so much negative propaganda that has been put out about, I'm sorry, okay, I got tongue twisted. Has been so much propaganda put out, racist and bigoted propaganda about black people by racist ass white media, that it has programmed people to look at black people a certain way. The only reason why people look at black people the way that they do is because that propaganda shit. There's been so much negative images put out against us, and you know, it has seeped into people's minds that we ain't shit. So what the fuck can we do to change people's opinions? Let me ask you this. The bad shit that we do, every other group of people do. There is no bad shit that we do that no other group of people do. Killing each other, robbing, stealing, fighting, everybody does that. So what you mean prove them wrong? What the fuck did we do that's so much worse than other group of people do? We prove them wrong. Damn, nigga. Ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. Because ain't all them other group of people, they do bad shit just like we do. So why we gotta prove them wrong? How about them proving us wrong?
The reason that you need to prove them wrong is based upon the question that Oni Dulce says, where she says, also you're protective of your wife, and yet who's protecting black women as well as the black child?
Not niggas like you.
Well, it needs to. Yeah, and you're right.
Not niggas like you.
And you're right, because I think that the black women that have the children, They should have husbands that protect them.
Not just the husbands, but other black men that's not husbands.
But shouldn't that primarily be the husband's job?
Well, if she doesn't have a husband, then what?
Then does she have a father?
Well, I mean, she don't know her father, then what?
Does she have a brother?
Well, I mean, she only child, then what?
Does she have a male cousin?
Well, I'm sure she does. So yeah.
Okay, well there you go.
Well, why you won't protect a black woman?
What do you mean?
Why?
I'm protecting my family.
So you won't protect the black
I
woman.
have a job already. What do you want me to do?
But you're black though. So why won't you protect a black woman? But you're black.
But what does that have to do with anything?
Why won't you protect the black woman?
So I'm supposed to go out and protect random people that I don't know?
Yeah, you got I'm sure you got cousins. Would you protect your cousin?
My cousins are married.
All of your cousins are married?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Do you got a big family?
Yeah, I have a pretty nice sized family.
Right, so ain't no way in hell all of your cousins married.
Why not?
Nigga, cut it out. It don't matter if they married. If some shit go down, won't you protect them? Why if the goddamn husband ain't around?
What do you mean?
Nigga, I ask you again. If the husband is not around, would you protect your goddamn people?
Well, they have fathers for that.
So you won't protect them. Come on, man. You won't protect them.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people here understand the chain of command, right?
Oh, man.
You got to follow the chain of command.
Say this, man. Black men like you are dead weight, man. You holding black people back, man.
How so?
With your rhetoric.
Okay, but Roger, come on, man. We've talked, we've had a good time sometimes and whatnot. What am I personally doing?
Oh my God.
That hurts somebody?
Like, honestly, this is a waste of time. Like, we got bigger fish to fry than dealing with this bullshit, because that's all this is. It's total bullshit. Total bullshit. And a waste of time.
Let me tell you how you hold it.
A waste of time, a waste of energy. Rozzy, you're wasting your breath. I'm wasting my breath. Max is wasting his breath. This is all it is a waste.
Oh, man. I like talking to him, though, even though I like talking to him.
I like talking to you too, Rozzy.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this. You don't you're not real disrespectful like the other motherfuckers.
Oh, there's some disrespectful guys that come up.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, I'll be seeing other panels. And them niggas just be out of line, like straight out of line.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
Right. So, listen, man. I'm just trying to. I know you probably don't give a fuck, but I'm just trying to get you to see a different perspective. Just because you're a black man, because I think I don't know if you'll ever change. I don't give a fuck if you ever do. But from a black man to a black man, I feel I just think I don't think us black men we're gonna always. I think we could. I think I just want black men to understand, man. Like, if we don't come together with this black woman, man, like, and unite, it don't got to be marriage, because you talk about you talk about that marriage shit earlier. You don't. I mean, you could unite with a black woman in other ways, man. Like, if we don't unite with this black woman, we can't do nothing. If we don't promote black unity, we're not gonna get nowhere. All this SYSBM, save yourself. It's crazy how y'all say save yourself from women or from, but I'm tongue twisted right now, man. Like, I just don't get y'all, man. Like, I've never been around black men like y'all.
Well, take your time, Razzie. I'm listening.
I'm just dumbfounded. Like, I've never, like, I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, right? A majority black city. Where all I saw was black men with black women, right? So I thought, all of us, I thought we would never. I thought black men, we all wanted black women. We all fucked with black women. We all put black women first. But coming on YouTube, I see the exact opposite. And you're one of them. You're one of the black men that don't mind showing to the public that black women are fucked up and this, that, and the third, man. Like, that's crazy to me, man. Like you don't have no shame, bro. Like,
hey, hold on, let me jump in there. Hey, Kuhn, are you a lawyer?
No. I'm only an attorney for Coons.
Could you see me address you in the chat room?
Yes, sir.
What language is that?
I have no idea. I thought it was English.
I hope you turn over a new leaf, man.
You don't know what that language is, sir?
No, sir. I thought that was English. I thought what up, dog, was like a colloquial statement that was stated in various neighborhoods of two black men.
I asked you what language it was, sir.
I thought it again.
As a lawyer, you should be able to tell me what language that is.
No, I'm only a lawyer for Coons.
Doesn't matter if you're a lawyer for coons or dogs or cats. You should be able to tell me what language that is.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I was telling you before, that own language. So I don't understand. I don't understand that.
If you don't know what language that is, then how can you be a lawyer?
Well, again, I'm only a lawyer for Coons.
Well, how can you be a lawyer, period, if you don't understand what language that is?
Well, usually lawyers aren't needed for Coons.
You do read court documents. Do you know what a court document is?
No, I don't really read court documents like that.
I'm saying, do you know what a court document is? You're a lawyer, right?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
I thought you said you were a lawyer.
Only for Coons.
Okay, so are you a lawyer, period, or?
No, only for Coons.
Okay, yeah, but if you're a lawyer, whether you be for Coons or not, you're a lawyer, right?
Yeah, but it's not according to the law that you know.
Did you go to law school?
No, I did not.
Oh, so you're not a real lawyer?
No, that's how I've been telling you.
Okay.
You're a lawyer for Coons.
You have a driver's license?
I do.
Can you tell me if your driver's license is written in 2 different languages?
Oh, I'm not sure. Like I said, I have to watch.
What you got to do is look at it, sir. You don't have to tell me what's on it. Just look at it and tell me if it's written in 2 different languages. Yes or no?
No, not to. I can tell you right now, not to my recollection. No,
it is written in 2 different languages.
Oh, okay.
You got it in the United States, right?
Of course.
It's written in 2 different languages.
Oh, okay. I agree.
You just can't recognize the other one.
Right. I can't prove otherwise, so I just have to take your word for it. And I have no problem with that. It may be written in 2 or more languages.
If your driver's license is written in 2 different languages, right? Do you know it's not a legal document?
Again, I take your word for it.
I'm just asking. You guys are supposed to be the smart ones. I'm just asking questions.
No.
You did say that in your tennis,
I'm
right?
not claiming to be smart.
Wait a minute. You did say in your tennis, right, that you guys were smarter than everyone else. And I did hear, and I did hear you use a term called intellectually damning.
I don't recall reading or.
I recall you saying that to Cerulean. And I also recall something in your tennis basically saying that you guys were smarter than everyone else.
I don't recall anything saying that.
But you're walking around with an illegal document in your pocket that you call a driver's license that's written in 2 different languages. You don't know that?
Yeah, I mean,
my driver's license is written in 1 language.
Yeah,
I have a legal document in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm happy for you.
You know, you guys would claim to have all of this super intellect and all. I was just wondering.
No, I'm not a super intellectual at all. I'm just a normal Joe.
So you can't tell me what language that is, Mr. Coon?
I do not know. You got me. And I will admit, there's a lot of people here, a whole lot smarter than me. I don't claim to have some super intelligence.
Well, when you say terms like intellectually damning, then you are saying that you have superior intellect.
No. What I'm saying in that is to say,
I'll admit your mental acuity is somewhat amusing, but I wouldn't call you a superior intellect.
No, not by far. I barely register on the scale.
Regurgitation doesn't afford you real intellect, Mr. Coon.
You are correct.
Tell me what language that is.
I can't. I'm not smart enough.
Why not?
Because I'm dumb.
Then how are you authoring these tenets if you're not smart enough?
Dummies can author stuff.
No, they cannot. That's actually against the law.
But I did it.
Do you know that it is against the law to be ignorant, Mr. Coon?
Then I guess I'm breaking the law. I'm gonna have to add that to my title. I'm the Supreme King Coon Outlaw.
In the court of law, ignorance is perceived as negligence, Mr. Coon. That is a crime.
Yeah, that's why I hire a lawyer.
Hiring a lawyer, right, just admits that you're unable to stand before the court as a man.
Right, because I need representation. I'm not that smart. I told you I'm a dummy.
Ignorance is negligence. Incompetence is also negligence.
Right. That's why I have to make money. I have to coon out, make money so that I can hire representation if I'm ever brought before a court of law, because I'm too stupid to understand it.
Oh God, man.
I don't understand what's wrong with that though. If I'm being an honest man, I'm
well,
saying,
there's a lot of things wrong with it because you've authored these insane tenets, espousing all of this super intellect, and the rest of us are dumb.
No, I'm not saying that I'm a super intellect.
I was just asking you a few questions.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a super intellect at all. I'm a dummy. That's why
That's not what the tenets say.
I have to hire a lawyer. I gotta work hard and spend my hard-earned money to hire a lawyer if I was to ever go to court, because I'm too stupid to understand the law.
Do you know what a closed room is, Mr. Coon?
I do not.
Do you know what a courtroom is, Mr. Coon?
I do not.
Okay.
those things are beyond my feeble mind. I understand my station in life. Some people, they're gonna be bright, they're gonna be
You
really
don't
smart, they're
understand
gonna
these
be
basic and
intellectual.
simple things. I find it very odd that you would author tenets trying to persuade the minds of other people to follow your ideology.
Right, but this is the things that I've penned, those are only for dummies.
What is that?
I said the stuff that I have penned, my tenants and all that stuff, this is only for slow people, for dummies who can't get it.
So what is your purpose, man, in SYSBM? What is your purpose? What is it that you hope to accomplish?
Because it's a lot of you all that y'all don't understand that there's a group of people, they're not smart enough to be where y'all at.
I have a question.
So there needs to be some people that looks out for them.
I have a question. What are you saving yourself from?
I thought I answered it the last time. The culture of not looking out for the dummies like me.
There's nothing wrong with the culture. So why would you need to save yourself from it?
Because the culture isn't looking out for dummies like me.
There's nothing wrong with the culture.
Dummies like me want stable families. Dummies like me want one woman. Dummies like me want to be fathers.
There's nothing wrong with the culture, Mr. Coon.
Hey yo, Supreme King Coon.
Hey, what's going on, Rozzy?
The culture is not stopping you from.
Hold on, Rozzy. Hold on. Hold on, don't do that. Coon, there's nothing wrong with the culture, so what are you saving yourself from?
The culture.
There's nothing wrong with the culture.
Well, I mean, that's an opinion.
No, that's a fact.
Okay, so how has the culture uplifted Black people?
The culture is fine.
Okay, so how is the culture helping Black people right now?
The culture that Black people live, a lot of Black people who live the culture, they do just fine.
Okay, well, then there shouldn't be a problem in Black America.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why and what are you saving yourself from?
Well, some of
the culture, because there's nothing wrong with the culture.
Well, some of us believe that
unless you have the wrong idea what our culture really is.
Well, some of us believe that everything is fine in Black America. Some of us don't. The people that don't, they leave out. What's the problem?
Hold up, though. Okay, let's go with that. Why leave when you can help fix the culture?
Well, they
because
don't
how can you fix the culture if you have people that are saying that there's nothing wrong with it?
Hold up.
No. Don't ask him questions like that because you're playing right into his hands. Okay? The issue is that they're irresponsible men that don't want to be held accountable. That's why they created a faction, to hide their irresponsibility.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. But I just gotta ask this though. Supreme King Coon, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, running away is running away from the problem.
Not running away from the problem, Razi. They are the problem.
So wouldn't that help, Razi? If we're the problem and we're leaving, wouldn't that help the community?
Actually, hell yeah, Bob.
Yeah. See, so we're helping.
You still haven't answered my question.
Hold up, though.
Razi, please stop interrupting.
Okay.
Still haven't answered my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your question?
What are you saving yourself from? Because there's nothing wrong with the Black culture.
Okay. So because we have mental problems, we're saving ourselves from hurting the community.
So why isn't it a mental problem to hate your own people and preach hatred against your own people? Why isn't that a mental problem?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We do have mental problems. That's why we're leaving so we can save the community.
So, and you're going exactly where? Are you going somewhere else in the United States? You're going overseas?
Yeah, we're nesting in other communities.
Nesting in other communities in this country.
Yeah, all over.
All over where?
All over the world.
All over the world. That's interesting. I don't believe that, but that's interesting.
Well, that's what you all said that we're doing.
I've lived in other countries. I don't believe what you guys are saying.
Oh, okay. But I was just going by what was said.
What makes you think that you're going to go nest in another man's environment that he's built for his women and children, and he's not going to do anything about it? The problem
mentally deranged people don't make wise decisions.
Is that you think all men are cowardly like you guys.
No, I don't think that all men are cowardly like us.
Sure you do. You think you're just going to walk into somebody else's country or fly into a foreign man's land where he's built infrastructure for his women and children, and you're going to commandeer his women simply because you think you're saving yourself? That's a delusion, sir.
Oh, okay. I did it.
Unless you plan to go over there to tourist areas and solicit prostitutes.
No, that's not.
Well, that's not what you plan to do. Then that's a delusion.
I don't think prostitution is good at all.
You do know that you're protected, the most protected in this country, right?
Who's that?
Excuse me?
Who's the most protected?
You do know that you are the most protected while you're here in this country, right?
Who?
You.
Who is me?
You.
So you're saying that black men are the most protected in this country?
Black people, Americans, period, are the most protected in this country.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
You see, you're protected by the law here.
Oh, okay.
Not so much in other countries. The law is completely different in other countries.
Oh, okay.
They don't afford you the same protections that you have over here under the law.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
freedom of speech is also different in a lot of other countries.
I understand that.
Vastly different than what's in this country.
I understand
There's
that.
the countries you can't go in and say certain things. You will be arrested. In some countries, you'll even be put to death. You know what it is that you're saying.
Mm.
There are some countries you can't go in and even look at the other women.
Okay.
Or touch the other women.
Okay.
I'm sorry, touch their women. Or talk to their women. That would be considered a crime in certain countries.
Okay.
See, I don't believe all of this. You guys are going to these different countries and stuff. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe you got the balls to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, DeAndre feels differently.
DeAndre is a military man.
Yeah, but he says he sees it all the time.
You see, military people are different. You see, you're under the protection of the United States military. It's a whole completely different ball of wax.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about you guys just up and going with no protection of the military, no protection of any corporate backing or anything like that. You're just going over there as tourists, talking about you're going to commandeer women in another man's space that he built. That is a delusion. It is a delusion that can cost you your life in different countries.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yo, Supreme. Now you talk about the culture, right?
Rozzy, listen, I don't mean to be mean, but I'm gonna have to ask you to step down. I want to have a one-on-one conversation with Mr. Kuhn without interruption.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Now you can stay up here. Just go on mute, please. Because you see, because every time you interrupt, he is going to try to create a negative scenario. So, Mr. Kuhn, this thought about going to different countries, doing all of these fanciful things, how realistic is that?
You ever You ever heard of Mad Bus Driver?
Of course, I've heard of Mad Bus Driver. He's a nutcase, a lunatic.
Okay. Well, every week he shows.
That's who you're following?
Well, I'm just saying, every week he shows videos, images.
He's a lunatic.
Okay, but all I'm saying is that lunatic every week shows pictures and videos proving everything that is being said.
He is a lunatic.
Okay.
Showing you pictures of white women and Asian women and mail order pictures and stuff like that doesn't impress me.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about a man who's well traveled, Mr. Coon.
Oh, okay. Well,
who have lived in foreign countries with foreign people, native foreign people.
Well,
not
as we speak,
not whores and prostitutes in the tourist areas.
Oh, okay.
This is why I don't believe in anything you guys are saying when you're talking about you're going to these different countries. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Talking about an experienced traveling man here.
Oh, okay.
Who has lived in foreign countries, who have broken bread and lived with the people, the native people, and walked with the native people of those countries. And lived among the native people of those countries.
Okay.
Not traipse around the tourist areas for prostitutes and pay bar fines to mama sons.
I don't know anybody that does that.
Well, that's what you guys are going to be doing. Especially if you go to China and can't tell the difference between Calhoun, Hong Kong, or mainland China.
Well, the only thing I know, Max, is all of the dudes that I know that are within the SYSBM camp are married men with children.
And how are you supposed to sustain these visas? Because you're going to need to sustain these visas to stay in these countries for any length of period of time. And the laws are different depending on what country you go to. Concepts are different. Ideologies are different. A way of life is different. Again, you are the most protected in this country. Once you get on a plane and leave this country, your protection of the law drops dramatically. So I'm curious as to what country you think you're going to. I keep hearing Brazil.
Well,
is that one of your favorite countries?
I've never been.
You have any idea what's going on in Brazil, Mr. Coon?
I've never been.
Never been?
No.
You know that lunatic you guys are following? He's going to end up getting you guys killed.
Oh, okay. I've been to a few places, though, Japan, China, Singapore, Thailand.
You've been to a few places. I've lived in I've lived in Spain. Many places overseas.
And I didn't need to be in the military to be there. I worked there.
Been to and lived are two completely different issues.
Well, no, a lot of these places I lived because I worked there with companies.
Like I said,
as an expat.
Okay, so you're under corporate protection.
Had nothing to do with military. I was a normal citizen.
I just said you're either under corporate protection or you're under the protection of the military.
Right, but before you didn't mention anything about corporate.
I did.
You just said military.
I did that. I said military or corporate protection.
Right. So that means that a layman citizen can go to a different country, live there.
With corporate protection, you are still limited to where you can go in those countries.
And
now you do have a little bit more freedom other than the tourist areas, but you are still limited.
And what's wrong with that?
No, I didn't say anything was wrong with it, but it could be very problematic for you.
How so?
if you go somewhere where you're not wanted. And in foreign countries, I don't know if they told you, we're not really, Americans aren't really wanted in these foreign countries.
Oh, okay. Well, in all of my travels, I've never had a problem. And I've been traveling for close to 20 years now.
Traveling for close to 20 years.
Yep. Never had a problem.
You mind throwing out some of these countries you've been to?
I already told you.
Where?
China, Japan, Singapore, Thailand,
part of China?
UK, Spain.
What part of
Loyang.
China have you been to other than Hong Kong?
Loyang.
Is that in mainland China?
Yes.
Okay. That's possible because corporate does have some reach. Did you fraternize with the natives there?
I did. I still have friends there.
You know the difference
some of my business connects that helped me to build a business that I have now.
You know some of the differences
there
between them and people from Hong Kong?
I really don't care that much.
Okay.
I have no idea, and I really don't care that much.
And so you tend to be some kind of bridge between you and your SYSBM friends?
No, they don't need me at all. I came across black people when I was there.
Yeah, corporate has some reach. Depending on where they're doing business in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a lot of different businesses that have,
but there's a difference between being up there under a corporate umbrella rather than going there yourself.
Yeah. But that's why you have a lot of brothers that preach about STEM and so forth, because in a lot of the science, technology, engineering, and math corporate groups, you do get to travel. Actually, it's almost a must nowadays.
You'll be pretty safe if you stay within the corporate boundaries.
Yeah, so that's why STEM is preached so much. You get in those fields, you'll be able to, kind of plant your flag wherever, the different opportunities are and within different businesses. Even if you do that for a while and then you start to freelance yourself and maybe as a consultant.
Let me ask you a question.
You can make business ties and, come in on work visas with different companies as a consultant. It's totally possible. It's done. Yeah, they talk about it on the Black Brain Trust all the time.
How come you didn't stay over there?
Because I have land here.
You have land here?
Yeah, my parents and grandparents owned land, and it got passed down to me, and I manage it along with
DeAndre lives in
my brothers and sisters.
No, DeAndre lives in Japan.
Yeah, I know. We talked for a long time.
Yeah, I used to live there.
Had a good conversation.
I lived there for a few years myself.
Well, that's good.
I still don't believe any of you.
But I think young boys in these disadvantaged neighborhoods that come from broken families and homes, I think they should know about these I think they should know about these options so that in the future.
Well, you do know that's a Klan tactic, right?
Because if some of them may not want to go into the military, they may want to use their brain.
Tactic, right?
What's that?
Targeting young boys who come from impoverished backgrounds.
No, I thought that was just an community outreach thing.
It's a Klan tactic.
Really? So should we just leave them to their devices?
Excuse me? So
should we just leave young black men that are having a hard time alone?
Absolutely, because they have no concern of yours.
Yeah, they are. Because if we leave them alone,
no, they're not. Remember,
and stuff.
We've talked about this. Mr. Kuhn. You are anti-black, and so is your organization. Our youth are of no concern of yours. Now, as black people, we should treat you guys as hostile.
You know, one of the best ways that that the community could make SYSBM totally defunct.
Your explanation is irrelevant if you haven't put it into play.
Okay. The best
He's
way
really
that,
telling me about it, but have no works to speak of. It means nothing.
well, I was saying the best way that the community could just shut down SYSBM, they could do it overnight.
You said the best way to shut down SYSBM
Yeah.
is to do what?
For the community to say, let's build strong families and take care of young boys.
We're in the process of building strong families.
What happened to them?
They're in the process. They're under construction.
Okay, so as soon as those
The families before us have been decimated by a lot of things, a combination of things. And we're in the process of ridding the environment of those things that decimated those black families. And you happen to be one of those things that we are in the process of eliminating. You and organizations like you, the Hebrew Israelites, all of you derelict factions.
Oh, okay.
Who are anti-black. We don't need your help.
No, I don't think we need our help
you've
at all.
already let us know exactly where you stand. And so now we are letting you know where we stand. We don't need your help. We view you as anti-black. You are an enemy to black people. And we don't need your help. And our boys are of none of your concern.
Well, like I said, I don't seek out for them. They find me.
I doubt that, sir.
Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I had your email so I could forward emails of individuals that forward me stuff of, you know, I have this issue and, you know, my family is busted up and they don't do this and that. And I was like, hey, well, you know, here's some advice.
You know, if that was the case, right? If you were worth anything, we would know who you are by now.
Why so?
Because a real man's deeds are well known.
Are they?
Absolutely.
I don't think so. I think that an arrogant man's deeds are well known.
No. An arrogant man's deeds are also well known.
There are individuals on this planet that just do the right thing and don't want a lot of fanfare about it.
Someone will know who you are. Even if you do not want the fanfare, it's not about the fanfare. It's about your deeds speaking for themselves. See, there are men that I know that I've never met. You know why? Because I know their works. I've heard nothing of your works. I don't know you. I've never heard of anything that you've been connected to. I don't know your works. I know plenty of men that I've never met because I know their works.
Okay.
You guys sit up here and you spew this crap about what you think the black community should be.
No, I don't think I can't define what the black
Oh, you do.
community
You sit
should
up
be.
here when you're down the black community. You say that our women are mean and this and that. You know, you flash Becky around. It was really a demon and don't have any love for you. Just because she sleeps with you don't mean she has any love for you. But you've gone on record to say that you don't mind that, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine with me.
You like the fact that she sleeps with animals.
Yeah, I mean, what I don't understand if a person is happy, why be worried about it?
You're right. You're right. You still haven't answered my question, though.
Oh, I'm wondering what's the question.
And where do you think that you're saving yourself to where you don't have to deal with this beast? Where is that at?
To deal with what beast?
The beast.
What beast? I don't understand that language.
This white boy.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about the beast.
Oh, that's right, because you sold out to him. That's why. You think he's your friend.
The beast is my friend, so I don't have to save myself from the beast.
He's not a friend. You think he's your friend.
Well, to me, I mean.
Well, he's not your friend, bro.
Oh, okay.
He don't give a shit about you. Using you. He's just using you until he's done with you, and then you're gonna see just how much of a friend he really is. He'll bust a cap. He'll turn around and bust a cap in your ass right now.
Kind of like the community.
He'll bust a cap in your ass right now without a second thought.
And I feel the same way about the community.
Matter of fact, you are the least person he trusts.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the community.
Because you have compromised yourself.
And I feel the same way about the community.
What community?
The Black community. They will use up my talent, my time, my resources. They don't really care about me.
What has the Black community done to you? What has the Black community done to you?
At the turn of a hat, any random dude will come up and blow my brains out. Over nothing.
What community is that? What Black community is that? I don't know such Black communities. I live in many Black communities. I live in one right now. I don't see any of that. I don't feel that way. As a matter of fact, I feel the safest around my own people.
Well, that's you.
I don't feel safe around white people or foreign people.
When you
I
go
feel
back
very
to your
comfortable and safe around Black people.
So when you go back to your neighborhood, and you drive your truck in, do you lock it?
Sometimes I don't.
Okay. Well, here, there's places, there's been several times. I'm looking right now. My front door ain't locked. And I have young kids here.
I don't understand what that means. That doesn't mean anything to me because you're a fool for not locking your door and protecting your family.
It's not that much of an issue.
No, I mean, you're a fool for not locking your door.
It's
I don't care what kind of environment I'm in, whether it be safe, whatever, I'm locking my doors.
But you just stated that you don't even lock your truck up sometimes.
That's because I forget sometimes.
Oh, well, yeah, but if you hadn't forgotten, you would do it.
No, I lock my doors if I don't. Sometimes I forget. I'll be in a rush. Sometimes I forget.
Well, where I'm at, it's optional.
But nobody bothers my truck. I live in the hood.
I don't.
I do. And I feel safe. I don't feel threatened or frightened or anything. I feel the safest around my people.
And like the real Aaron Collins said in the chat, like I do believe that. I do believe that there are strong Black families. I just don't think that there are a whole lot of them.
So where's this Black community you're talking about?
All over the United States.
What, where you got to worry about being shot and stuff like that?
Yeah, I won't say all of them. I'm not gonna go out and say
that's
all.
That's not just a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, some of the most dangerous places is not in the hood. You actually, if you're around white people or foreigners, you're actually in the most danger.
Yeah.
Well, because you know why? You know why? Because they have the law on their side. You don't.
Oh, okay. Well, as a resident coon.
And then when
I
you
seem to
out there
have not
around
had any
white
problems.
people, and when you're out there by white people and foreign people, you're really a sitting duck. You're an open target.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of your representation out there to make a difference. That's what happened to those boys out in Florida sitting in that SUV, and they were murdered by that white dude.
Well, 17 years in running.
They see you as target. They don't see you as civilized people. They see you as infringing on their territory. They see you as targets.
Well, I've been a sitting duck here for 17 years. They must be bad at targeting.
So this community that you're talking about, I've never seen one. Where have you seen one?
Seen one what?
This dangerous black community that you're talking about.
Oh, I own property in one.
And what, okay, is that okay, are you talking about Chicago?
No, right here in Houston.
And where?
Right here in Houston. I own property in a very bad neighborhood.
You say in Asia?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, Houston, Texas. I've been to Houston.
Uh-huh.
I never felt endangered.
Oh, okay.
You feel like you're in danger?
No.
I don't. I've been to many hoods. I've walked through many hoods.
And that's fine for you.
I don't feel any danger. I don't have problems with my people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very comfortable around my people.
And that's good for you.
Because I know that my people are as dangerous as the media portrays them.
That's right, Black Seed Supreme, 5th Ward. Liberty and Wayne Street, buddy.
A lot of coons come out of Houston too.
Yeah, a whole bunch of coons. This is coon capital of the United States.
Yeah, a lot of coons come out of Houston.
Yeah.
Or George Foreman.
We're trying to make up for the ghetto boys and all that.
I don't have any problems in the hood.
No. All this
stuff that they try to portray about black people, it isn't true.
All the chop by the Michael Watts, yeah, we trying to counteract all that. That's why so many coons come out.
Black people don't kill each other. Black people don't kill each other like that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a different story to tell when the 3 houses down from my grandma's house when coming home from school, there was all sorts of cops around the place because a dude got murdered in front of his kids.
What's behind that kind of behavior? That behavior is artificially induced.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of it, right? A lot of it is misrepresentation. See, like in Chicago, right? A lot of those murders or shootings that go down in Chicago don't exist.
Oh, those are all lies, right?
Not all of them, but
the majority of them are. They inflate the numbers.
Most of them are, and then a lot of those shootings are done by the police.
Yeah, and not just by the police, white police.
It's funny how, where are the arrests?
They don't arrest anybody. That's why
How come they don't have anybody in jail?
Yeah, that's why you know it's a lie. That's how you
know
the
government that you like, the government that you like so much, they must be derelict. They haven't arrested anyone yet. All these so-called shootings, and they claim that they know who's doing it, and no one is in jail. And Chicago is not even on the most dangerous. It's not even on the list where the most dangerous cities. It's not even on that list. Well, actually, it's on the list, but it's way down.
Well, you got me today, Max. I'm gonna have to concede to your arguments and bow out because man, it is time to go to the park.
All right.
All right, man. Enjoy the conversation. You have a good one.
Take care. All right, everybody. Anybody else want to come up? Razi, you there? I think Razi might be occupied. Well, everybody, let me see here. I'm going to shut it down here. I got some work to do.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, Max. And I mean, at this point, talking to this guy is just a big old waste of time.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of it myself now. All of the fun done ran out. It's not fun talking to him anymore. It's getting on my nerves now. He's playing too many games.
That's all it is to him. It's a game. It's something to do for him when I guess he's bored and he needs a pastime. He comes up here. He does all this condescending stuff, all this passive aggressive stuff, all this bullshit dancing around questions and.
Yeah, when he read that, when he see that information I gave him, it's gonna blow his mind.
Yeah, he has no interest in any of that stuff that anybody's talking about over here. All he does is he comes to distract, be opposed to what we're saying and doing, try to make us look stupid. He's over here trying to make a mockery of what we're trying to accomplish. Like, let him do that over there.
Nah, he can't make us look stupid. He can't make us look stupid.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's his intent, though. That's what he's intending to do.
Mad bus driver, fucking lunatic. That's who they're looking up to. A freaking lunatic.
Like everything you were saying to him, I guess. He said, I'm not sure. I guess that was his wife in the background.
Yeah, I wanted her to get on.
He was repeating to her, "Oh, this is what he said." Very condescending.
I wanted her. I
listen
wanted
to
her.
this stupid stuff he's saying. Like, "Oh, listen to this, honey. Listen to how stupid he sounds."
I wish he had to put her on.
He's not gonna put her on.
I tried to get him to put her on. I wish he had to put her on. Oh, when they look at that information, that's going to shut him up. I wish I invited him. Like, listen, you can bring your wife on too.
It's not going to shut him up. It's not going to shut him up. It's not going to shut him up because you know why? This whole ideology he's running with is almost like religion, right?
Right.
There's nothing you could say that's gonna change what he believes in because it's a belief, right? It's not fundamental. It's not based in actual facts 100%. It's a belief. You coming on here with this bullshit. Oh, my door's not locked. I can't do that in the danger. Why do you own property? You over here talking shit about black people.
That's dumb. Yeah.
Make money on them. Why do you own property in those areas that's so dangerous? Wouldn't that drive your property values down?
Yeah, he's just following behind white people. He's saying that because white people saying it. You dumb motherfucker. They lock their doors.
I mean, because like I said, where I am here in New York, in upstate New York, we have a small Black community and we're surrounded by white communities, like completely surrounded. And they have home invasions, they have car break-ins, they have all that shit going on a regular basis. So to say, oh, I don't live in a Black community and my community is more safe, like there's no crime, there's no break-ins, there's no burglaries that happens anywhere else but in the Black community.
Man, as a matter of fact,
Over there, take that over there.
he's in some of the most being in the white community is dangerous as fuck.
Not for him, not, you know, as long as you kissing white ass, then it's safe. That's his ideology. As long as you know, you look down on Black people the way white people do, you try to be like them, you try to follow their culture because it's better than Black culture, then that's gonna protect you from racist white people that see us all as one big nigga. That's gonna protect you. So let's follow his lead.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's never been a button down,
excuse me,
straight back, you know, kowtowing Black man that's ever experienced racism. That doesn't happen for them. That only happens for hood boogers, people in the ghetto. So if you get out the ghetto and you start acting like white people, then you know you won't have problems. This is what he's pushing.
You know, now that I think about it, it's no sense having them on. It doesn't do anything. We don't gain anything. I thought he might want to try to have some kind of positive conversation, but I see that he has no interest in that. He just wants to troll, like you said.
Right. He
try
has
to make fun of us.
absolutely no interest in it. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. He's coming over here to be disruptive in that passive aggressive way. Like, yeah, he's not gonna curse. He's not gonna outright call names. He's gonna do this roundabout. He is the epitome of passive aggressive. That condescending. Oh, that's not what I'm saying. No, if you're not gonna come over here and stand on what you stand on, then take that somewhere else. I could respect it a lot more if he just came over here and said, yeah, Black people ain't shit, Black women ain't shit, and I don't fuck with them. I could respect you a lot more if you stood on that than coming over here with the bullshit he's been doing.
You're right, Queen. It was a waste of time, really. I was hoping he was going to have some real dialogue and maybe we can get somewhere and try to come to a mutual understanding that SYSBM is unnecessary and that we can come together as Black people and deal with these problems. But I see now that they're not interested. You know, they're clearly on the other side.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. He's the coach of Black women by showing them the bullshit that we're doing. So pointing out all the negative is going to help you be positive. Since when is that an effective strategy for anything?
Well, they think it is.
He doesn't think, he knows that's bullshit, but he just gets enjoyment out of dragging other Black people. That makes him feel good to his heart. He's getting his final retribution. If you listen to what he says, the Black people threw him away and they didn't use his resources, and they didn't respect him, and he said that out of his mouth. So this is how he's getting his get back. This is his get back.
All sad. The Black community has thrown him away. How do you get thrown out of a community? I heard another Black person say that, right? Talking about, well, you know, my community didn't want me, so I'm like, how the hell do you get ran out of your community? I've never met a Black person that's been ran out of the community. Where they do that at? I've never even heard of anything like that.
Yeah, I am beyond aggravated with that whole conversation because again, it's pointless and he has no good intent when he comes over here. He does it in a very nice, calm, polite way. But it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you niggas look dumb.
Yeah, I'm trying to
That's
figure
his
out.
one and only intent when he comes over here. Yeah, I'm gonna make you look stupid, and I'm gonna make you prove why SYSBM is a better choice. You know, I'm gonna make you prove why we shouldn't have black families and why we should go to other communities and cultures and breed out black people. Oh my God. It's it's a shame. It's a damn shame we got people like this running around.
Well, yeah, and we got to continue to fight against it. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell do you get ran out of a community. I've never seen or heard anything like that before. I mean, if you're a child molester or something like that, that's one thing. But most time, black people don't care about. Okay, if you're a coon, you live in a community. People, let you be. They know you're a coon. They know you're a coon. They don't mess with you. But you don't just get ran out of the community. I've never seen that. How the hell do you get ran out of your community? How you get thrown away by your community? I mean, you ain't the first black person I heard say. I heard some other coon say the same shit. Or the black community didn't want me. The black community was, uh, they hated me and my wife. And damn, everybody in the community was like that. Everybody in the community hated you.
Right. If everybody that you were around felt a certain type of way about you across the board, it's not everybody. It's you.
Yeah,
It's you, because I've never been somewhere where everybody hates one person and
exactly.
it
I've
was
never
unjust.
seen that.
It was unjust.
I've never seen that. I've never seen an environment like that where everybody in the community hates one black couple.
For
One
one
dude was
couple
talking about
there,
him and his wife got ran out of the community. I'm like, how y'all get ran out of the community? But y'all fuck with everybody
but
in the community? I never heard of nothing like that.
but I could see it happening when you put on these airs that you're better than everybody else. That would
Well,
definitely get people to turn against you.
well, I tell
When
you
you're
what,
looking down your nose on other people like I'm so much better than you.
if I'm listening to some bullshit like this, like him on YouTube, and I see that, I wouldn't want him in my community. Like, nah, partner, we good. You can take that shit somewhere else. You know, I wouldn't want that in my community. I mean, who wants SYSBM in their community? Who wants these guys in their community? Man, we got enough problems. We don't need guys like this. And again, like I said before, we got a problem with our young youth following these dudes with this kind of animalistic and wolf pack-like behavior, mauling black women like a pack of wild dogs. That's the result of terrible leadership.
He's gonna help black boys by leading them away from black women
No, he's going to help
and
black
girls.
boys by turning them into the pack of wolves you saw attack that young black woman. That's what he's going to do. That's where his leadership is going to go. How can we trust somebody who hates black people to help our young boys? No, you're going to poison their mind. You're going to turn them into those savages you saw mauling that black girl.
And then had the audacity to sit up here and talk about, oh, shaming works. Shaming makes people better. Since when? No, shaming people gives them low self-esteem, which leads to more dysfunctional behavior. It doesn't help. That's like saying if I have a child and my child, comes home with a bad report card, I'll say, "Oh, look how stupid you are. You failed this. You failed your classes. Look how dumb and stupid you are. That's gonna make my kid go to school and do better."
Yeah, yeah. And we supposed to trust him. Fuck out of here. You're right. I'm done with it. I had enough of these guys. That's it. There ain't nothing there. There's nothing there worth saving. Made it very clear. Shout out to Wanda. What's going on? We just up here hanging out right now. But I'm about to shut it down. I got to give me some sleep.
All right, Max. So
I'm glad y'all came through.
You know what? I have to say this though. I know he's over there sleeping. Maybe he'll catch this on the playback, but I have to give a big shout out to Rozzy. He did good up here today. I know he was jumping in here and there, but he did excellent up here.
Yeah,
I was proud of him.
Yeah, Rozzy was dropping it today. He was little Malcolm X. I think he's sleeping right now.
Yeah, I think he's sleeping too.
I hope he gets better. All right, Quinn. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming through. And hopefully we can start working towards getting this thing turned around. As long as we don't give any more attention to bums like that in these organizations, understand what they really are. They're all anti-Black, you know.
Exactly. It's time to push onward and forward. We're going to leave that BS in the back. Like I said earlier, we got bigger fish to fry. We don't need to waste time on people who's trying to drag us down.
No doubt.
So with that, I just want to say peace, power, and unity to everybody in the chat. Peace, power, and unity to the earth and nation. And we'll be back soon enough.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate everybody showing support. And peace, power, and unity. We'll holler at you later.